Yo, what's happening with it? Yeah, y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. There you go, talking that boxing again. Yeah, we definitely gonna cook today. Salute to everybody that's already in the building. When you come in the building, let me know you're in the building. Hit the like button, tap in with me. Daryl Deloach, what's happening with it? Al Booger, what it do? Dank Father, Specs, what's happening with it? Yeah, we definitely gonna cook today. Lot to cook on, man. Exciting weekend. Devin the Dream, you know, he fighting Regis Prograis, the Rougarou, man. I can't wait to see that. A fight I've been waiting for a long time. Shit, to tell y'all the truth, that's a fight that I've been wanting to see for years. I just never thought that fight would happen, but we finally getting it going down this weekend. So I'm excited about that. Specs in the building. Jermaine Harvey, what's happening with it? Anthony Johnson, Farid, the Queen Cassandra. What's happening with it, Cassandra? Paul Carrick, what it do? Big Block for Light Skin Business. Fred, what's happening? Yeah. Yeah, dang father, man. I definitely wish Coach was here to see his two favorite fighters. You know what I'm saying? Put in that work. Coach got three favorite fighters, everybody know. First is Regis, Devin Haney, and David Benavidez over everybody. Yeah. Sheena, what's going on with it, Sheena? In the building. Yeah, so you know, Coach gonna definitely be watching down, you know, he gonna be looking at this one, but Coach definitely will be rooting for Regis Prograis. Your man say shout out to YouTube for finally sending out the notification. Yeah, hopefully they send out the rest of them, you know, but we'll see. But either way, we in here, we cooking. Emmanuel Pettigrew, what's happening with it? Salute. Yeah. A lot going on, man. This weekend, right? This weekend wasn't really too impressed, you know. Wasn't really too impressed with the card, with the Golden Boy card in itself. But you know, I mean, everybody was waiting to see what Ryan Garcia was gonna look like. And I'm definitely gonna give y'all my breakdown and on how I thought Ryan Garcia looked in that fight this past weekend. But Ryan was talking big, you know, before the fight. Ryan was talking big. Everybody seems to be talking real big tough talk about Shakur Stevenson. It's like, to me, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Boxing fans is let's jump on the bandwagon. If you got a group of people talking shit about one fighter, everybody else just join in. The same shit happened with Devin Haney when after he fought Vasil Lomachenko. Boxing fans is fickle. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody on Shakur Stevenson helmet. But forget that man actually won his fight and is the WBC world champion. They also forget that everybody talking tough, but ain't nobody calling him out but Jermaine Ortiz. The only fighter that I heard call out Shakur is Jermaine Ortiz that really want to smoke. So I respect that. Jermaine Ortiz, he can say whatever the hell he want to because he the only one that's saying, okay, well, let's fight. The rest of them talking a lot of shit, but they not talking about fighting. Actually, what they're doing is making excuses. Oh, man, all he going to do is run. That's the biggest cop-out excuse in boxing. Spence, what the fuck you talking about? He didn't really win the fight. What fight was you watching? What fight was you watching if Shakur didn't win that fight? Future says you're going to let people join and have a real conversation. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to let you do. I'm going to let you go build your own channel, right? And then let me know and I'll join your channel when you build yours up. How about that? And we can have all of the real conversations on your platform. So everybody in here right now, Future is about to build his channel up. So everybody go join Future's channel. And he wants to have a real conversation. Now, once again, Specs, what fight was you watching saying that Shakur didn't win that fight? Like, how did Shakur not win the fight? You got to explain to me how Edwin De Los Santos breaks a record for landing the least amount of punches in the 12-round fight but win the fight. Make that shit make sense to me. But anyway, moving along. Rick Timms, what's happening with it? Future says, sounds like you ducking. I'm giving you a great option. Build you a platform up and then let me know and we're going to all join your platform. Until you do that, shut the fuck up. Sit down and shut the fuck up until you do that. Because you're not running shit over here. And if I did drop a link, your ass wouldn't be getting on it. And I don't even know who you are. For real. Don't know who you are. I ain't never seen you a day in my life. But to everybody else in here, salute. Yeah. Jermaine Wood says everybody that jumped on Shakur about his fight better get ready to jump on Devin because he will not engage with Regis. We're gonna see, we're gonna see because Devin got a whole lot of shit to talk, right? It's crazy. Devin been talking a whole lot of shit, but Devin seems to forget that he was once criticized, right? He was once criticized because people were saying that he didn't engage enough and he was a boring fighter, right? This is my thing. A fighter has one fight, right, where you feel that he didn't perform his best, but he didn't put on the show for the fans. But then he had 4 or 5 other fights before that where he showed out and beat the hell out of opponents. But then people want to use that one fight and act like that actually defines your whole career. So boxing fans, you know what I'm saying? Boxing fans is weird. Boxing fans is just weird, man. But like I said, Devin Haney went through it. He went through it after, Devin Haney went through it after he fought Jojo Diaz. People said he put on the boring performance. Then he went through it when he beat the hell out of Linares, right? But he got hurt in that fight, right? Late in a fight that he just beat the shit out of Linares, but he did get hurt. And then everybody was running around the internet criticizing him, acting like he had the weakest chin in the world. And then, after the Lomachenko fight, everybody was on that. So, I mean, boxing fans, they just like to jump on whatever subject is hot and whoever is getting picked on. You know what I'm saying? I don't join in on all that silly, foolish shit. But I understand that Shakur Stevenson, when it comes to Shakur, man, he talk a lot of shit and he always backs it up. Now, this is one time he backed it up because he still got to win. Sometimes you got to win however you got to win. But he didn't put on the performance, right, that his mouth was talking. Now, I know he was hurt. I know that he had, I know he was hurt because he didn't use his left hand, but, it is what it is. He got to come back. He going to fight. People forgetting that Shakur's going to fight again. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the last fight. He either is going to fight, I say that he's going to fight Zepeda, or he'll be fighting Jermaine Ortiz. So whoever he fight next is going to be a top-level opponent. So in his next fight, definitely Shakur is going to keep the same energy that he's always had. Just make sure that everybody that's talking shit, dogging him out. Man, I hear people saying that Rollie whoop Shakur, Ryan Garcia whoop Shakur. I read a whole thread on Twitter where this is what I'm saying. Boxing has now been taken over by the casual fan. People that don't know shit about boxing. I went on Twitter and read a whole thread with people saying that Oscar Duarte, the motherfucker that fought Ryan Garcia, would whoop Shakur Stevenson. I had a whole thread of people that facts, man. Oscar Duarte, man, he would stop Shakur. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? But this is the age that we live in, man. It's just boxing is ran by a casual fans. They don't know shit about boxing. They don't know nothing about the technical aspect of boxing. They just go off of what they hear the masses saying, and then they all run with it. And that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of hard, man, because I remember, like, it didn't really used to be like this, right? Boxing, like, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing this for a little while now, right? And I remember when I was doing, like, I would actually be able to get on YouTube and even the Facebook boxing groups, and everybody that would comment, like, you wouldn't agree with everybody, but people would talk like they had sense, right? You could actually have a dialogue with people. You can't even do that now because you fucking 9 times out of 10, you speaking with people that just don't know what the fuck they talking about at all. Like, at all. Yeah. So Rick Tibb says as much chatter Bill has been doing on channel after channel discussing Tank and everyone but Regis. Dad better have he says Dad better have a spectacular showing come Saturday night. I mean, dominant KO win, etc. Well, man, like I said, when you want to play, right? Because I gotta keep it a buck with y'all, right? Now, if we want to be petty and play tit for tat and be like, okay, Dev was talking that big shit about Shakur, so he better perform. Or Dev be talking mad shit about Tank, so he better go in there and get a motherfucking knockout. We can play tit for tat games, right? But if you actually know boxing and really want to keep it real, because we all get petty sometimes, right? We all get petty. But if you really want to keep it real, he just got to go out there and win the motherfucking fight, right? Because at the end of the day, when Devin Haney is retired and Shakur is retired, and, you know what I'm saying, a whole new crop of fighters have come in, it doesn't say how you won the fight on your resume. You look at that motherfucker and you either won or lost. Sometimes you got to do what the fuck you got to do to win. Now, you talk that big shit, people going to want to see you back it up, right? People going to want to see you back it up. Straight up and down. But I mean, we all going to get petty because I ain't going to lie. If Devin go out there and get his ass whooped, oh yeah, I'm on this motherfucking helmet. If Devin go out there and hold and grab for, 12 rounds and like my man said, do the pity pat shit. Yeah, I'm on his helmet because he talk a whole bunch of shit. But at the end of the day, in the back of my mind, I know, hey, he had to do what the fuck he had to do to get the win. And thank Father, you're not going to see no power improve. Like, people keep saying this shit. I forgot who I was arguing with. It might have been my cousin. I forgot who I was arguing with recently, right? And they was arguing with me saying that Devin Haney is going to show a lot more power at 140 pounds. And Devin, because Devin, I can't remember who it was, but this was just the other day. I can't remember who it was. And that Devin is going to show power. And it's like, man, y'all got to stop with this power shit for Devin. Like, that's not him. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, since we own that, right? Devin always talk a whole lot of shit about what he gonna do because Shakur was talking cash shit, right? Shakur was talking cash shit. But if you notice, Shakur, probably about 2 weeks leading up to the fight, they kept asking him what he was going to do. And he was like, I don't know. I'm going to just do what I got to do to win. I'm going to win. That's all I know. So he kind of toned it down. And that's what make me, that's what another thing that make me know that he knew that he was injured or something wasn't right in the fight. But Devin always talking about he going to knock every opponent out. Every fight that Devin has, he always from the JoJo Diaz. Remember, him and all his fans were saying he going to stop JoJo Diaz. Motherfucker ain't even get a knockdown. From the Gamboa to I mean, everybody he's fought, he always talking about that, and his fans are always, oh man, Devin gonna get a stoppage this fight. Devin gonna get a stoppage this fight. Man, how about y'all do this? All the Devin Haney fans, hold your breath and wait for Devin Haney to get a stoppage. And if you still alive, if you are still alive, I'll shut my channel down. I'll never come back on this motherfucker again. Hold your breath and wait for Devin Haney to get a stoppage. And if you're still alive, I'll shut my channel down, and I swear I'll never come back on this motherfucker again. And for all the haters that be watching and watching everything I do, then y'all motherfuckers gonna be real happy. You're gonna be mad and happy at the same time. But I don't look at Devin and expect him to have more power, because I got sense enough to know that just because you gain some fucking weight don't mean you're gonna have, like, he's not a power puncher. That ain't him. I knew that Devin wasn't a power punch because, like, to me, when he had this fight, it was still kind of up in the air. I was still, kind of like, well, maybe Devin might get a stoppage, or maybe he might do have power. Maybe he still learned to sit down on his punches, right? But the night that I knew that he couldn't motherfucking bust a great, and like I said, respectfully, because it doesn't matter if you can have other things. You don't always have to have power. I'm not a boxing fan that's enamored with power, right? I'm not just ooh and ah, because a lot of boxing fans, what I noticed, if a fighter got a whole lot of power, y'all think they could just beat everybody because they got power. Like, I'm not him. But when I knew that Devin Haney didn't have power, and I was never going to think that he was going to knock out anybody good again, was when I saw Haney fight Jorge Linares. Because he beat the dog shit out of Jorge Linares. I'm talking about he hit Jorge Linares with everything and the kitchen sink. He hit him with every combination in the book. And he never hurt Linares. So I'm watching this fight, and I'm like, man, that to me, that was the best performance that Devin Haney ever put on. Like, that's the best Devin Haney performance that I've seen to this day when he fought Jorge Linares, right? Like, he was in there in the paint. He was hitting Linares with every combination. He was swimming without getting wet. Like, that was a masterclass performance he put on Linares. But I know that Linares don't have a chin. Like this motherfucker, all of Linares' losses are knockout L's. And he probably got like 6 of them, except for Devin Haney. Everybody that's beat Linares has stopped him except for Devin Haney. And Devin Haney was hitting him with clean flush shots all night. And I'm like, this motherfucker ain't got no power. Because Linares is sitting there walking through this shit. He's getting beat the fuck up, but taking this shit and he wasn't budging. So I'm like, yeah, he don't have no power, but he's a very good fighter, right? He's a very good fighter with no power, but you have to have things to be able to, you got to have other areas that you great in, right? And Devin, he have other areas that he's great in, like his defense is his legs. He got great legs. I think he got great athleticism. He's fast. He got a very good jab, right? So yeah, he have things that substitute for the lack of power. But the thing with me is, oh man, Devin moving up, man. Devin go show everybody he got power, man. Man, I think, man, no, you know what? It was my homeboy, and he's not that big on Devin, but he was trying to tell me that he think Devin is gonna stop Regis because Devin is gonna be way stronger at 140. And I'm like, yeah, he might be physically stronger in the clinch and things like that, but he ain't gonna be able to hit hard. Like, look at Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley, muscle-bound head ass, that motherfucker was strong. Tim Bradley was strong as fuck, but he couldn't punch. He couldn't punch. Some fighters, they got them bricks in their hands. You know what I'm saying? They got them bricks in their hands. Then you got some fighters like myself that had real fast hands. So I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna sleep you with shit that you don't see. You know what I'm saying? I'm sharp and I was real fast, so I'm gonna catch you with some shit that you don't see. But then you got some other motherfuckers that hit you with that thump, and it feel like you got a motherfucking brick in your hand. I think Ryan Garcia is more so that fighter that got that fast punch. He got power, but he got that fast punch that just catch you with shit that you don't see. And then you got motherfuckers like Oscar Duarte. Like Oscar Duarte, you could tell that motherfucker had thump. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez, he got thump. It ain't coming out that fast, but that shit, he got that thump. I think Wilder got a combination of thump and speed, both at the same time. Tank. I think Tank shit is more, I don't know, because I'm hearing from people that saying that I've heard from several people, not just Ryan Garcia, not just Rollie Romero. It's been sparring partners that said Tank, he don't hit the hardest, but it's more like he hits you with that shit right in the spot where you don't see it coming. So he do got thumped, but I mean, I don't know. I ain't never been hit by him, but just from hearing what other people say, they say that he ain't the hardest puncher, but it's more, he's more precise with his shit, know where to land your shit, and he's always landing shit that you don't see. Like, if you watch Gervonta Davis fight, right? I've seen him fight fighters to where they take a lot of his big punches, right? And he can't really get him out of there until he hit him with that shit that they don't see. He just catch him and then they sleep. So if he hits you with some shit that you don't see coming, you're going to sleep. But if you kind of see it, like people seem they could take Tank's power. Like I seen Leo Santa Cruz get hit with a lot of fucking big ass shots that Tank hit him with, and he was taking them. Mario Barrios was taking them. Even Hector Garcia took a lot of big shots from Tank, but like I said, until he hit you with that shit that you don't see, that precise, fast shot that you don't see, and then you go to sleep. Javier Lopez says Subaru Matisse got bricks. Yeah, he thumping. Matisse, he got thumped. You know what I'm saying? He definitely thumping. Who else is thumping? Like Shannon Briggs was thumping. You know what I'm saying? So man, yeah. Fariz says Crawford the only one with special treatment from Snack. Bro, I'm a huge Errol Spence fan, right? But man, y'all gotta stop with this Snack bullshit, man. Get like for real. And I don't really fuck with Crawford like that. But y'all gotta give Crawford his man, give that man his props, man. Like, stop trying to make it like that man was on steroids and use it like he won the fucking fight fair and square. Terence Crawford ain't never tested positive for steroids or any type thing like that. Terence Crawford ain't never even like made people like gave people any type of, you know what I'm saying, reason to be saying that he's on anything. Like we gotta stop with this snack shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, man? Like for real. If Terence Crawford, because Bud is with Snack, that means that motherfucking Devin Haney on some shit. Motherfucking goddamn what's his name? My man that just got beat the fuck up by David Benavidez. What's his name? Boo Boo Andrade. Like all these motherfuckers that's with, you know what I'm saying? Caleb Plant, he on steroids. Boots Ennis on steroids. If y'all gonna say that because Terence Crawford is with Snack, well, everybody that's with Snack is on steroids. Like, man, y'all gotta stop that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we want to have that conversation, right, we can segue into because I was gonna talk about the Errol Spence situation anyway. The reason why Errol Spence lost to Terence Crawford, right? It's a lot of reasons. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of reasons why Errol Spence lost to Terence Crawford. Cap, he definitely was on some, it got cycled out. Shut the fuck up, dude. You sound stupid as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like y'all gotta stop. Come, Queen Sheena, man. Y'all gotta stop with this snack bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That makes Errol Spence fan base. It makes his fan base look bad. Like, we can't take a loss. Like, stop with this snack shit. That man beat Errol Spence ass fair and square. That's it. Now, if you want to talk about, like, let's just keep it a buck, man. Terence Crawford is way more disciplined because he should. Let's give this man credit where credit is due, right? He was disciplined. He never fell off. He never did no extracurricular activities outside of the ring that was going to make him fall off in the ring at all, right? Let's just keep it a buck. Let's stop with the snack shit. You know what I'm saying? He never did no shit outside of the ring. He stayed disciplined at all times. You don't never see Terence Crawford out of shape, right? You never see him out of shape. Dude got the best resume before Errol Spence. Nah, his resume was some trash, but that was his fight to go in there and shut everybody up and prove it, and he did that. It is what it is. But stop talking about David, I've been sneezing. If his glove busted against David, I've been sneezing, what the fuck does that got to do with Errol Spence? You know what I'm saying? What does his gloves busting in the David I've been sneezing fight got to do with Errol Spence? Nothing at all. We talking about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. So he stayed disciplined throughout his whole career. Never fell off. Stayed in the gym. Always stayed in shape. Right? Now, let's keep it a buck with EJ. EJ, one of his biggest things is that he was inactive. You cannot go in a fight against somebody like Terence Crawford off of a 16-month layoff and think that you're going to perform at your best. You're just not. After you already was complaining about how hard it was to make the weight. I believe that was one thing with Errol Spence. Another thing is he ain't been as disciplined as Terence Crawford throughout his career. And once you start to get in your 30s, that shit catches up with you. You know what I'm saying? While you doing other shit and this man is training extensively, nonstop, making sure that he stay in shape, you don't think that shit gonna catch up with you at some time? And Al Heyman and everybody knew that shit. That's why they tried to get him fight Keith Thurman and then go and fight Bud Crawford. But he was hard-headed. He ain't want to fight Keith Thurman. And they was even going to let him fight Keith Thurman at 154. Because they know, okay, well, if you stay sharp, you're going to have a much better chance of coming in against Terence Crawford and being at your best than you do coming off a 16-month layoff when you already had a layoff of 15 months, right? Came back, had a fight, had another layoff for 15 months, and then came back and had okay, so he had a layoff for 15 months, bam, came back, fought Danny Garcia. Had another layoff for 15 months, came back and fought Ugas. And then had a layoff for almost 16 months and came back and fought Terence Crawford. And y'all want to talk about snap? Y'all want to make excuses and act like that Terence Crawford is on PEDs. That's why he did what he did to Errol Spence, because he's in the SNAP program. Man, that shit just sounds stupid. And he had 3 car accidents. And an eye injury, a retina injury, right? All of that shit. And y'all, the only thing y'all could think of to come up with for excuses, Terence Crawford was cheating and he was on. Come on, man. Like that shit is bad. Come on. That's bad. Now, the discipline, the layoffs, the injuries, the car wreck, all of that shit is a reason, right, why Errol Spence looked like he looked. Plain and simple. Pop with the smoke. That aerosexual shit, bro, chill out with that shit. Because first of all, I don't even know what that is. To be, you know what I'm saying, trying to put sexual into this type of shit, that's weird to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, chill out with that shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying, man. People like him, they come up with these weird words because motherfuckers want to act weird about fighters, man. Instead of just keeping it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. So these are the reasons that I stated why Errol Spence lost and looked like he did, right? Now, if you look at Errol Spence, I broke down the fight before it happened. And I said, if Errol Spence has these same flaws, he's going to get hurt by Terence Crawford. And the flaws that I broke down for y'all that was watching my live, I told y'all I went back and I watched the Ugas fight. And I saw things that he was doing in the Ugas fight that I said he couldn't afford to do against Terence Crawford. I said this. I said, yeah, it's things that I saw him doing, right? And it was defensive flaws. It was lunging. It was when he would lunge to the body, and leaving his right hand, his right side open, dropping his hands, and doing things that Errol Spence wasn't doing, right? When he was at the A level. Well, I mean, when he was at his best. These are things that I never seen Errol Spence doing when he was at his best, right? Because he always had a high guard and he was very, very defensively sound back when Errol Spence was fighting the Lamont Petersons, when he was fighting the Kell Brooks, the Mikey Garcias, and all those guys when he was at his best, right? He didn't have those same flaws that I saw him have when I saw him fight Ugas, right? When I saw him fight Danny Garcia. But what I said is, okay, I'm seeing shit that Bud is quick enough to capitalize on. He's showing you these things, but they're not capitalizing on it. And then when they do capitalize on it, they don't have the precision and the power that Bud do. So I said, these are things that Errol Spence got to clean up. But how are you going to clean up these things when you out of the ring 16 months, right? So that's a big factor. Now, I mean, so that night on July the 30th or whenever it was, the 28th, I believe it was July the 28th, that night on July the 28th, Terence Crawford was the better man. It didn't have nothing to do with his motherfucking gloves. It didn't have nothing to do with him being in the snack program with Devin Haney and Jerome Boots Ennis and Boo Boo Andrade and Caleb Plant, because they all in snack program too. It didn't have nothing to do with none of that shit. What it had to do was everything that I talked about. But moving forward, right? You want to see Errol Spence work on the technical flaws that he had in that fight with Terence Crawford. You want to see Errol Spence be in the gym and be sharp, you know. And when I heard Derrick James talk, and mind you, again, for everybody watching, this coming from a diehard Errol Spence fan. I'm an Errol Spence fan. I rock with Errol Spence 1,000%, and I don't rock with Bud Crawford. But see, the difference between me and the rest of these fans is, for one, I don't give a fuck how anybody feels. See, a lot of people, they scared to say something about their favorite fighter. Man, I don't give a damn about none of that shit. And then you got a lot of people that they thrive on dogging out fighters that they don't like. I'm not finna do that. So I'm gonna keep it a buck. So I want Errol Spence, okay, Errol Spence, take your vacation, take 3 weeks or whatever, get your mind right. And I want to see you right back in the gym, getting that work in, working on things. So when you do have this rematch with Terence Crawford, you sharp. You in there working with Derrick James on things, right? On the holes in your game. Things that you weren't sharp on. But I hear Derrick James talk, and Derrick James said the nigga ain't been to the gym yet. He ain't been back in the gym yet. Now, like I said, take a vacation, 3 weeks, not 3 and 4 months. Don't leave out of the gym and not show up to the gym for 3 or 4 months, because in those 3 or 4 months that you're not in the gym, what y'all think Terence Crawford doing? What y'all think Bud is doing? Working. Bud was in training camp with Shakur. Shakur called Bud on the phone. Bud got on the camera and said he just got done whooping the nigga ass in sparring. And that was just, about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Bud been in the gym working. I bet if Bud lift his shirt up right now, he still got a 6-pack because he's training. So when you at that highest level, When you at that highest level, you don't let the next man outwork you. Because 9 times out of 10, if y'all on that level like that, the man that's outworking you, he gonna surpass you, and that's what we seen. So, with all that being said, Errol Spence ain't been in the gym. We can make all the excuses we want to, Sheena. Sheena, we can make all the excuses you want to, but at the end of the day, Errol Spence has not been in the gym. And Terence Crawford has been working still. So if they fight again, I'm telling y'all right now, it's going to be the same outcome. Errol Spence might look a little bit better, but it's going to be the same outcome. I'm telling y'all. Now, I might be speaking different if I heard that Errol Spence been in the gym working on, all the things that, watching film and working on the things that he saw that, areas where he made mistakes and things. No, bro, you ain't been in the gym? Nah. So y'all can talk all that snack shit and all of that, right? You might as well get ready to make all the excuses all over again if they fight again. Because it's going to be the same outcome. Straight up and down. And like I said, I'm going to be rooting for Errol Spence, but I ain't no fucking dummy. You just, I don't like that. I don't like it. He better stay the fuck away from Terence Crawford. Straight up. You not in the gym and you ain't putting in that work and he putting in work and he won the fight. If anybody, right, that you would expect in this situation for you to hear, nah, he been vacationing and he been chilling, he ain't been back in the gym, would be Bud. Because he won the fight. But he the one that's been in the gym working, putting in work. John Kramer said Floyd don't work harder than him. Well, I mean, I don't know about all of that. But I don't have no problem with him saying that because he's putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? I heard Derrick James said that, Errol Spence ain't been in the gym, but his mind is right. That's cool, but your mind ain't all the way right if you ain't been in the gym, bro. You are a professional fighter, right? Motherfuckers go to the gym and work out for free every day. So you mean to tell me you a professional fighter and you ain't been in the gym? Nah. J.A. Dixon says the hungry man wins. Well, it don't take a rocket scientist to tell you who the hungry man. Because if you hungry, you're going to be putting in that motherfucking work. If you hungry, you finna be putting in that work. So, I mean, like I said, man, I'm still going to support Errol Spence. I'm still going to rock with him, but I ain't going to be no motherfucking fool and sit up here and make all the excuses and tell you that if he fight Terence Crawford, it's going to be a different outcome. It's going to be the same motherfucking outcome. It might last longer, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the same outcome because, bro, you just how is it going to be a different outcome if you ain't been to the gym? We talking about damn near 4 months. OTB, what's happening with it? Salute. We talking about damn near 4 months. So to everybody, this ain't the channel you want to come to if you just want to hear a whole bunch of dick riding and fanism and shit, motherfuckers riding with fighters just because they like them and don't keep it real about the fighters they like. There's a whole bunch of other channels you can go to hear that shit. You ain't gonna hear that shit over here. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. And like I said, man, at this point, I would much rather see Terence Crawford fight Jerron Ennis. Because I've always said this from the beginning. I don't think that Terence Crawford can beat Jerron Ennis. I don't. Jerron is a whole different animal at this point in his career than Errol Spence. And another thing I told y'all before, I didn't like Errol Spence's attitude leading up to the fight. I didn't. And I hate to sound critical of a fighter that I support, right? Because I do support Errol Spence. He is one of my favorite fighters, but I just didn't like his attitude leading up to the fight. I didn't like that, when they was asking him about winning or losing, his response would be, well, I'm still going to make a whole bunch of money. And everything was about money, because at that point in time, it's like, bro, you kind of basically saying, yeah, I might lose, but, well, that's what you were saying. Yeah, I might lose, but I'm still going to make a big ass back. And I'm not trying to hear that from a fucking A-level, fighter on that level. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to hear that, bro. Like at that point in time, right, when your mind starts thinking like that, that makes me think like you got 1 foot out the sport and 1 foot in. Like when you start thinking like that, now it's kind of time to start thinking about maybe I don't have the hunger that I had no more. You know what I'm saying? Once you start just thinking about how much money you gonna make and all of that, you need to get up out of the sport. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he needs to retire, but I think that maybe his mind is looking at the end picture. I think he kind of focused on other things. His mind is, looking up like, okay, yeah, I probably got, because real talk, with that type of mentality, I don't see Errol Spence becoming, undisputed at 154 and running through a whole nother division. Because the hunger ain't there and the vision and the mind ain't there, how are you going to do that? I really don't see, I don't see the hunger that, for him to conquer a whole nother division. But that was the whole point in the beginning where Errol Spence was saying, I'm going to dominate 147, and then I'm going to move up to 154, and I'm going to dominate 154, and I might move up to 161. You know what I'm saying? We might get to one. I don't see that. I don't see that no more, because I don't think that he have it, in him mentally, and he just don't have the same hunger. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he has the same hunger. Like, I just don't see that in him. Now, Bud is letting you know, hey, I got 2 fights in me and I'm done. He letting you know I got 2 fights in. So people need to realize, man, a new crop of fighters are coming in, taking over. You got the guys like Virgil Ortiz, Jerron Ennis, and them guys, they coming up. Errol Spence and Bud, they on their way out the door. Keith Thurman talking about fighting until he's 37, but I mean, he might have the hunger, but I mean, he's had too many layoffs. So it's a new crop coming up, and we could talk about Jerron Ennis and Terence Crawford. Like I said, Jerron Ennis is too young, too fast, too strong, too talented, and Bud know that. But Bud is gonna make all the excuses in the world. He gonna tell you that Jerron Ennis brings nothing to the table and it's not a big enough fight and all of that. But Bud Crawford knows at the end of the day, right? Bud knows at the end of the day that it's a big chance that he could lose versus Jerron Ennis, and he's not gonna take that chance. He's looking at the situation like, why would I take a chance getting in here with this young, hungry motherfucker, right? For what? Why am I going to take that chance? Right? Now, everybody that's been in here, hey, baby, you've been hearing me talk the whole time, right? This motherfucker just came in here and said, damn, you hating on Crawford hard. Like, I'm hating on Crawford hard. That's what I'm saying, man. Y'all. Yeah. You motherfuckers are women men. Nah, I ain't gonna say that shit. Because women don't even act like you motherfuckers. Like for real, some y'all motherfuckers is just the new breed of men. The new breed of men. Y'all motherfuckers is weirdos. Talking about I'm hating on Crawford hard. I just spent the last 30 minutes praising Terence Crawford, cussing out people for telling people for running up in here saying that he's using PEDs and he's on snack. And I say that I believe that Jaron Ennis will beat Terence Crawford. Now all of a sudden I'm hating on. Do you motherfuckers even know the definition of hate? Like you retarded son of bitches use hate for everything. If a motherfucker don't have the same vision, right? If we don't agree, all of a sudden it's hate. Shit is fucking nuts. Hate. Have you ever heard of people disagreeing on who will win a fight before? So everybody is supposed to fucking, who the fuck is you? Are you Jesus Christ? I'm supposed to agree because you like Terence Crawford and you think that nobody can beat Terence Crawford. Now I'm supposed to think the same way that you do. You motherfuckers is weird for real. Hey, my man Dake Father says society is fried. Man, burnt the fuck out. All the way burnt out. A1 Hoop Zone says, shout out to the goofy motherfucker late to the live and go harder for their favorite fighter than they do for their own family. Motherfuckers is weird. I'm telling you, bro. Like, now men worship celebrities, athletes, you know what I'm saying? And all that. Like you got 40-plus-year-old men and 30-plus-year-old men, they worship these young ass athletes now. And really, really get fighting mad if you say something about their favorite athlete that they don't like. They can't even have a fucking dialogue or understand that everybody is not gonna think like they do when it comes to this athlete. Now all of a sudden you hate me. I don't understand if y'all even know what the definition of hating is. Now, if I came on here and I was like, man, Terence Crawford, fuck that nigga. That nigga black, his head nappy. That motherfucking, man, fuck his house, fuck his mama. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he rich, but still, who give a fuck if he rich, man? I hope he lose all his motherfucking money. That's hating. Me saying that another professional fighter, I believe, can beat him, that ain't hating, dog. That's me thinking that Jaron Ennis will beat him. I also think that Jaron Ennis will beat Errol Spence ass. Am I hating on Errol Spence? I don't think nobody, like, to keep it a buck with you, right? I don't think nobody from 147 to 154 can fuck with Jaron Ennis. I really don't. I don't think nobody from 147 to 154 can beat Jaron Ennis at all. Now, do some of those fighters give him tough fights? Yeah. Maybe his toughest fight is Bud Crawford. I don't see Bud beating him. Maybe his toughest fight is Jermell Charlo. I don't see Jermell Charlo beating him. Maybe his toughest fight is Virgil Ortiz. I think possibly Virgil Ortiz could be his toughest fight out of all of them, but Virgil Ortiz, the problem with him is that I've seen him have a suspect chin, right? Virgil Ortiz's defense ain't good enough to fuck with Jaron Ennis, and if you take too many big shots from Jaron Ennis, you're going to sleep. So yeah, I don't see Virgil Ortiz. So like, you got somebody that's very talented and skilled at 154, like Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin got all the skills in the world. He ain't got no chin, right? Ain't got no chin. So can he beat Boots? Nah. So yeah, man. I just the talent that Boots has. The talent that Boots has is crazy. Sheena says, she says, Mr. ETB, I heard Floyd was coming out of retirement to fight Bud. Yeah, whoever said that shit is don't listen to. That's a goddamn lie. Hey, Sheena, when you hear shit from Devin and Bill Haney, you know it's a lie. So when you hear shit like this, you gonna know it's a lie. Yeah. No, I'm not saying that you lying, Sheena. I'm saying whoever you heard that from is telling the motherfucking lie. So whoever told you, Sheena, that Floyd Mayweather is coming out of retirement to fight Bud Crawford, it's a lie. Yeah, that ain't happening. Floyd has told people a million and one times that he's not coming out of retirement to fight none of these fighters. Yeah, it's a lie. I mean, I understand it's a video out there, but it's a lie. Floyd ain't coming out of retirement, to fight no Bud Crawford. That's a lie. So yeah, Sheena, whoever put out that video, you might want to hit that button that says not interested or don't pop up in my news feed no more. You might want to do that to them because they telling you lies. Yeah. Now everybody that's a Terence Crawford fan, right? They always say, "Well, Boots ain't ready for Bud." What qualifies you to say that Boots ain't ready for Bud? Oh, he's too green. Last time I checked, Boots got 30-something fights. You know what? People said that Floyd Mayweather wasn't ready for Diego Corrales, and what happened? Throughout boxing, you know what I'm saying? People said that Oscar De La Hoya wasn't ready for Julio Cesar Chavez, and what happened? Man, I've seen so many people say that Errol Spence was a hype job. Errol Spence was Jeff Lacy 2.0. He wasn't ready for Kell Brook, and what happened? You know what I'm saying? So if you listen to the fans tell you, "Oh man, this guy's not ready, and this guy's not ready," and that, well, you would never have a young fighter come up and whoop these older fighters. It would never happen. If we listen to the fans, oh man, he ain't ready. What the fuck qualify y'all to say that Jerron Boots Ennis ain't ready? What qualifies you to say that? Because you like Terence Crawford and that's it? Fuck you mean he ain't ready? When is he ready? When you say he ready? Like, come on, man. Like I said, he's more than ready. Like I said, if you look at Jerron Ennis, right? If you look at Jerron Ennis, right? D-Town, he's not ready because you say he ain't ready. What qualifies, what gives you the qualifications to tell Jerron Ennis, right, that he's not ready for Bud Crawford? Give me your qualifications for you to be able to tell that man that he's not ready for Terence Crawford. Because the last time I checked, if you compare Jerron Ennis's opponent level to Terence Crawford opponent level, everybody besides Errol Spence, they've been fighting the same level of opponents. And Jerron Ennis, he been looking more impressive fighting the same level of opponents. The last time I checked, I guarantee you, in boxing, I'm way more qualified than you are. I guarantee you that. So I can look at a fighter and tell if they ready or not. And what's happening with it, knockout? And that man definitely ready. He more than ready. You know what I'm saying? You don't do what Jaron Ennis has been doing to the fighters that he's been in the ring with and not be ready. Knockout says some of us thought Bud wasn't ready for Errol. What happened? Let Boost prove you right or prove you wrong. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You motherfuckers act like, oh, I mean, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. Like I said, if that was the case, who the fuck would be ready? Right? If we listen to fans like y'all, see, if we listen to fans like y'all, who would be ready? Fighters would never, you would never see a young fighter get a chance at none of these champions. If we listen to fighters like y'all, in that case, wait till Terence Crawford retire, right? Bring him out of retirement, and maybe then Boots will be ready. Like, man, y'all go somewhere with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Go somewhere with that bullshit. He definitely ready. But moving along, right? Let me see. Knockout said a lot of people don't want to see the fights because they so scared to be proven wrong or watch the fight or watch their favorite lose. Shit crazy. And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, bro. You feel me? Knockout. That's what it is. Fighters, these people, they don't want to see their favorite. See what it is, knockout, with this boot situation, right? Is they either don't want to see, they're afraid of the outcome that may happen if Boots get in there and beat Terence Crawford ass, or you got Errol Spence fans that are afraid to see Jerron Boots get in there and beat Terence Crawford ass, and then they like, man, Boots could have whooped all of them. Like, it's all fans protecting their fighters. They don't want to see that shit. Instead of saying, oh man, he ain't ready, he ain't ready. Why aren't you saying, make the fight happen? I want to see if he's ready or not. See, that's how real boxing fans talk. Make that shit happen, man. Yeah, I think that Bud might, like, y'all could say, yeah, I think Bud might beat him, but I want to see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. Fuck you talking about he ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? If all of the fighters that are in the professional sport of boxing, people that's been in the ring with Jaron Ennis and Terence Crawford, people that's, you know what I'm saying, been in the ring with both of them, they all tell you that, oh yeah, Boots is more than ready. But you mean to tell me I'm going to listen to somebody behind a computer screen that ain't never been in the ring before tell me who ain't ready? Come on, man. I know better than that. Knockout said, nigga got a whole world championship and niggas still want him fighting tune-ups. Right, bro. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't want to hear none of that. They in different generations. If you in the sport, and that's the top, and people saying that's the top guy, like David Benavidez and Canelo. It ain't no, oh man, David Benavidez is in a different generation than Canelo. Canelo don't have nothing to prove. Canelo shouldn't fight him. Fuck all of that shit. Yeah, he should. Why he shouldn't fight him? Yeah, he should fight him. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers ain't saying that when it's a Rudy poop. Y'all like to protect your favorite fighters too much, bro. Y'all, some of y'all act like y'all the ones got to get in there and take the ass beating. Why y'all so invested in these fighters that don't give a fuck about you? Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. If a motherfucker ring your doorbell right now, kick your door down, and beat the dog shit out of you right now in your home, do you think any of these fighters gonna give a fuck? Ain't now one of these fighters gonna show up and fucking ice you, visit you in the hospital, call and see if you okay, get on the fucking internet and argue for you? They're not. Newsflash, they not, ain't none of these fighters finna do that shit. I guarantee you they ain't. I guarantee you that Bud Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, none of these fighters, these motherfuckers ain't giving a fuck about you. So why are y'all so invested in this shit? Like, motherfuckers was coming to my channel and shit when Errol Spence lost. Oh, man, ha, ha, ha. Oh, man, look at you. Look at me what? I'm doing my live stream, talking about the fight, breaking it down, just like I would if he had won. Like, I'm not fucking in the corner. I'm not in my shower, balled up in the goddamn fucking fetal position, rocking myself back and forth because the fighter lost. Bro, I got more serious shit to worry about than another grown-ass man taking an ass whipping in the ring, getting millions and millions of dollars doing it. Ain't that serious, bro. My man, Wonder Man says that's like saying Benavidez isn't ready for Canelo. Yeah, but you hear that. You hear these people saying that shit all the time. Oh, he not ready for Canelo. Diana, salute, Queen. Salute, Diana in the building. She always coming through showing your boy love. Yeah, man, it's just like, for real. We can, I think, like, really, I think a lot of grown men take this shit too far. Real talk. Like, I think a lot of grown men take this shit too far. Like, we gotta stop. We gotta get out of our childhood for real. Like, when you kids, you look up to, professional, like, you might like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. When I was a kid, I like Hulk Hogan and athletes and shit. But man, I mean, come on, man. We could be a fan, but some of y'all take this shit too far. Real talk, where you got grown men idolizing these athletes and shit. Like, y'all don't have to be that invested into these fighters. Like, just be a fan. Like, we need to sit back and be fans and want to see these fighters fight each other. Sports Prediction says, but there was a lot of time invested in channels protecting fact that Spence couldn't beat Bud. Real talk. I don't know what you mean by that, because there was a lot of effort put in with people saying that Bud was going to beat the shit out of Spence, and you had people saying that Spence was going to beat the shit out of Bud. That's called a debate. That's called going back and forth, disagreeing and agreeing. I don't know what you mean by the protecting. You can't protect shit. Once these fighters get in the ring, who gonna protect who? Like, real talk. Who's gonna protect who once these fighters get in the ring? So I can't agree with what you're saying, because it really don't make sense. Man said, what do I think about Ray Mortala? I think he's a good fighter, man. I think he's promising. I like to see more of him. You know what I'm saying? I think he's a good fighter, though. But anyway, moving along, right? Let's talk about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, man, this weekend came back against Oscar Duarte. we know about, the build up to this fight. A lot of people were saying this was an opponent that Oscar De La Hoya had put in the ring and for Ryan to get whooped, right? Now, what I did learn is they gave Ryan Garcia, they gave Ryan Garcia's camp 3 opponents, right? I believe one of the opponents that they gave Ryan Garcia's camp was Teofimo Lopez. I don't know who the other opponent was, and it was Oscar Duarte, right? So Oscar Duarte was one of the 3 opponents. Ryan said that Derek James picked this fighter. Now, the 3 opponents were presented by Golden Boy Promotions. So what I'm hearing is, the first one I heard was Teofimo Lopez, right? So I'm hearing that all of these opponents was tough-ass opponents that they thought could possibly beat Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan, it felt that he was being set up, right? They wanted to see him lose. And, we're going to fast forward to the fight because we know everything that was going on in the build-up. Well, man, Oscar Duarte, he could crack. That's one thing I can say about him, flat-footed. I saw early on in the fight that Oscar Duarte, he had to be set to get his offense off, right? He had to be set. He couldn't punch on the move. He had to be set, right? And what I saw from Ryan Garcia is early on, I saw Ryan come out and he looked good. He looked real good early on, right? The first 2 rounds. He came out and he was jabbing. He was using his jab, using a little bit of movement. And I said, oh yeah, Ryan Garcia, man, he got a crisp jab. He looking good, right? He looking good. And then Ryan Garcia just stopped using the jab. And he started fighting flat-footed. And Oscar Duarte started pressing Ryan. Now, Ryan was still winning these rounds, right? Oscar Duarte started pressing Ryan. And Ryan completely slowed down, right? Because Oscar Duarte was pressing him, basically closing the distance on Ryan. And then Ryan decided to, okay, I'm going to slow all the way down and I'm going to fight this guy on the inside. Now, one thing I've been saying about Ryan Garcia for years is Ryan cannot fight on the inside. Another thing, before I even get to that, another thing that I saw Oscar Duarte doing is he was landing some big counter punches on Ryan. He hit Ryan with that same overhand that Gervonta Davis landed and that Luke Campbell landed. Now, I told people, Ryan got a chin. Ryan can take a shot because if you go back and watch that shot, Ryan got hit flush in the chin on at least 2 different occasions by Oscar Duarte, and he took those punches. Ryan was getting hit with harder body shots in that fight versus Oscar Duarte than he got hit with Gervonta Davis. Now, he told y'all that he was drained. That's why he couldn't take that body punch against Tank Davis. And he said that he had a fractured rib that he suffered in training camp. Now, a lot of people say, oh, man, he was just making excuses. Well, remember when that Asian guy came out that everybody was saying there was a mole in Ryan Garcia's camp, and he came out and he said that he hurt Ryan Garcia in training camp, that he dropped Ryan with a body shot. Well, we know that to be true now because Ryan did an interview and he admitted that he had a broke rib going in the Gervonta Davis fight. He said it happened a couple of weeks before the fight and he suffered a broke rib. Now we know why he got stopped with a body shot because Tank hit him on that same side and it didn't even look like the hardest of punch. Because fast forward to this Oscar Duarte fight, and a lot of people gonna say, oh man, you just hating on Tank. This has nothing to do with hating on Tank. This has everything to do with keeping it real that a lot of people on this YouTube don't do. when it comes to their favorite fighter. I've seen Oscar Duarte hit him with some huge, vicious body shots. And you could tell it was affecting Ryan, but he never went down. He never stopped fighting. Now, he did start retreating, right? Oscar Duarte did put him on his back foot, but that dude was landing some heavy shots on Ryan Garcia. And like I said, he was landing bigger shots than Tank was, but Ryan was taking those shots. The thing about Tank, he's more precise. Tank hits you with that quick, precise shit that you don't see coming. And if you land those shots and you got enough power, you're going to drop your opponent. Al Booger, like I said, ain't nothing cap about it, because you wouldn't call him the cap when Gervonta Davis was telling you that he had a mole in the camp, and everybody was talking about that Ryan Garcia got dropped with a body shot. You wouldn't call him the cap then. Y'all was running around talking about it was true and all of that. But now that it don't go with the narrative that you want to go with, now all of a sudden it's cap. You see what I'm saying? Y'all got to stop doing that shit, bro. Y'all got to stop doing that shit. Let's just keep it real and stop protecting fighters because maybe something doesn't go, the way that you want to go, or like it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everything adds up. So how is it cap? When before the Gervonta Davis fight happened, Tank told you that he had a mold in the camp. So is Tank capping? The Asian dude came out and did an interview and said, I dropped you with it, but I hurt you. So is the Asian dude capping? Like, that shit crazy. How is that cap? Anyway, man, moving along. So moving along, right? I seen Oscar Duarte land bigger shots. He landed several bigger shots. You know what I'm saying? And Ryan was able to take those shots. And Ryan admitted that he was like, man, that motherfucker could crack. He was hitting me way harder than anybody has hit me. And so I seen Ryan start retreating, right? I seen Oscar Duarte start pressing the gas, but I noticed that Oscar Duarte couldn't fight unless he was set. So I kept saying Ryan needs to go back to using his jab and moving. And luckily, he has a great trainer that was in his corner to give him the right instructions, right? But before Ryan started using his jab and moving and using his legs, he decided that he was going to stand in front of Oscar Duarte and do the motherfucking Tootsie roll, because there wasn't no shoulder roll, right? Now, Ryan wants to tell y'all that, I was trying something different, but nah, that was cap. That was cap. Because I've told people for many years that when Ryan Garcia is fighting a pressure fighter and he gets pressed out, he turns his back on his opponent. He's always done that. Go look at film of Ryan Garcia. That shit wasn't nothing new that he tried. He's always done that because he cannot fight on the inside. And his defense is very, very flawed. And it comes out when he gets pressed by a fighter. He doesn't know what to do. He covers up like that and he just turns his back. So he wasn't doing no fucking shoulder roll. Ryan has always done that shit. That was Ryan Garcia's, that was one of his biggest flaws that I always had a problem with. See, you could tell that Ryan Garcia came up, right, through the amateurs when he first started fighting, and whoever was training him coming up, they trained him strictly, they focused on offense. They got him very good throwing combinations, throwing the 1, the 3, the 6, throwing all the combinations. They strictly trained him on offense. That's what they focused on, speed and offense. And a lot of trainers do that shit. And what you should be training these fighters on first, it's defense and footwork. Because once you get the defense and footwork down, then all that other shit comes along. You know what I'm saying? You can't train nobody to punch hard and to have real fast hands. That shit is God gifted. But offense you can train, right? Especially if you got your footwork and your defense down. But you could tell that they didn't really focus on that too much for Ryan Garcia. They never focused on that because they focused on all that flashy shit with him offensively, and he never got good defensively or with his footwork. So that's the problem. What you saw Ryan Garcia doing is what most fighters do when they're young and they first get in the ring and spar. That's the first thing they're going to do if they spar somebody that, you know, is a little better than them and start pressing them. They don't have their defense down yet because most coaches don't work on defense. They just working on offense, right? And so what they're going to do is their first instinct is to turn their back and cover up like that. And that's what you see Ryan doing. He does that shit all the time. He does it in sparring. He did it in the tank fight. You seen him. I've seen him do it. When he fought Luke Campbell, I seen him do it. I've seen Ryan do this shit on several occasions, and this is something that's a bad habit. People talked about his chin up in the air. They worked on that. They worked on, him getting his hand back to the phone, getting his hand back. They worked on things like that, keeping his hands up and stop dropping his hands and things like that. But they still got to work on defense with his inside game, right? And that's going to be Ryan Garcia's biggest problem. Now, he's always dangerous, especially when you put him in with a fighter like an Oscar Duarte, because you've seen, right, once Ryan really started listening to Derrick James. Another thing, before I even say that, right, another thing I noticed, I'm watching Derrick James give Ryan Garcia instructions in the corner. And I'm looking at Ryan Garcia, and he's not paying attention to Derrick James. When Ryan started getting in trouble, right, when he started getting kind of tired and Oscar Duarte was pressing him and putting all that pressure on him, and Derrick James was telling him what to do, I'm looking at Ryan, right? Derrick James is right here, and Ryan is looking all over there. He's not paying attention to Derrick James, right? He was ignoring Derrick. And that's a mental flaw. That's a mental flaw. And Derrick eventually had to tell Ryan, sit the fuck down and listen to what I'm telling you. And then once Ryan did, right, that's a mental flaw when you lose focus, right? He wasn't focused. Derrick James talking to him, he looking over there, and he not listening. So that's something he lost focus, right? But once Derrick James was finally able to get Ryan to focus, to sit down, Derrick told him, use your movement and use the jab. This guy has to be set to get off. He can't do nothing unless he's set. So he started listening, and you seen Ryan Garcia go to plan B. And that's when Ryan Garcia started using his movement. He wasn't really using too lateral movement too well, but he was circling, right? He was circling, and he was just moving. And you could tell Oscar Duarte got frustrated because he don't know how to fight if he got to fight on the move. So he was just following Ryan Garcia around, following him around, leaving himself wide open, and Ryan Garcia was just pop-shotting him, scoring, pop-shotting him, scoring, and Oscar Duarte just following him around. At that point in time, I knew that Ryan Garcia was eventually going to catch him coming in. Because I still know that Ryan Garcia, he can punch hard, he got hand speed, and he's still going to get aggressive. So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this motherfucker getting frustrated. And you could tell Duarte was getting frustrated because when you get those fighters that are one-dimensional like that, once they gotta, think and use their ring IQ, they don't know what to do, so they get frustrated. They want to come in and they just want to bully some shit. Once you make them have to think, and once they realize they can't get to you and what they're doing is not working, they're going to get frustrated. And that's what happened with Oscar Duarte. And I knew it was only a matter of time before he was going to run into some shit. Now, Ryan caught Oscar Duarte with solid big punches early on in the fight, but Duarte was walking through them shits. He was walking through them. But it's the shot, just like I said with Gervonta Davis. I've seen people take Tank's power, but it's the shot that you don't see that hurts you. You can have the best chin in the world, but it's that shot, that precise shot that you don't see that hurts you. He was coming in. Ryan Garcia caught him right there on the temple, hurt him. And once Ryan gets you hurt, it's a wrap. Now, everybody say that Oscar Duarte quit, that he could have got up. Yeah, he could have got up. He definitely could have got up because the referee is right in his fucking grill. 7, 8, 9. And then he wants to try to get up, right? But he knows that, first of all, I think it was probably like a minute and some change left. So if he got up, Ryan was going to murder him anyway because he didn't have no more legs under him, right? He didn't have no more legs under him. So, yeah, he quit, but it wasn't going to be a different outcome if he had got up. The only thing that would have happened if he had got up is he would have got fucking carried out in a stretcher. Because that's one thing about Ryan. Ryan know how to finish you when he gets you hurt. Y'all seen when Ryan thought that he had Tank hurt and he pounced on Tank. Now, Tank wasn't really hurt like that, right? But he thought he had Tank hurt and he rushed Tank. And so Ryan, he knows how to finish you. That's one thing that he do know. If he gets you hurt, yeah, you better hold on. And a fighter like Oscar Duarte, he's a bully type of fighter. He don't know how to protect himself if he hurt. Them fighters like that, they know how to fight one way. Come forward, and that's it. So you're going to get hurt. So it's going to be the same outcome. Sleepless Jr. says he called Ryan a quitter, then quit. Yeah, but see, that's what I said, man. A lot of you talk all that shit. You talk all of that shit. It's going to call your bluff. You know what I'm saying? You heard Bernard Hopkins kept saying, boxing will call your bluff. And he was saying that shit talking about Ryan Garcia. Well, boxing called Oscar Duarte's bluff. Now, Oscar Duarte, one-dimensional fighter. And like I said, man, Ryan Garcia, I think it was a good test for him because he realized, because this was Ryan's first fight with Derrick James, right? And he got to be in a tough fight where he realized that he could trust Derrick James to give him the correct instructions. Now he knows, okay, now I trust Derrick James to listen to Derrick James, because you could be in the gym and all that shit in the gym is different until you put them 8-ounce gloves on and you really in the heat of fire. Now can my coach tell me some shit, implement a game plan, and things are not going my way, and I can listen to my coach and get the outcome that I wanted from the beginning. And he was able to do that, right? He was able to realize that if he listens to Derrick James, man, you're going to be all right. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, looking at the landscape of 140 pounds, right? Ryan Garcia is dangerous for anybody because he does got the hand speed, the power. He got the talent. But if he get in there with a fighter like a Subriel Matisse, he's going to sleep. Matter of fact, Subriel Matisse will put him to sleep, wake him back up, and put him to sleep again. He can't fight a fighter like that. He can't fight a fighter like Regis because, see, I notice nowadays a lot of fans are casual fans, so they don't understand the difference between that different styles make different fights, right? A fighter that's going to be very aggressive and press Ryan and have power, those are going to be the problematic fighters for Ryan Garcia. Those are going to be the fighters that cause Ryan problems. Regis Prograis would hurt Ryan Garcia. Subriel Matisse will kill him, wake him up and kill him again. A fighter like Teofimo Lopez will hurt Ryan Garcia because Teo can be aggressive and press you, right? And he's explosive. Now, I think that him and Teo will be a pretty competitive fight. But if Teo get the pressing Ryan Garcia, he's not gonna like Ryan. If you don't know how to fight on the inside, you got a problem, right? Just different style of opponent is the problem for Ryan Garcia. Now, if he get a fighter at 140 like a Devin Haney, that's a competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a Devin Haney or a Richardson Hitchens will be a problem. Now, I'm not saying that Ryan will beat Devin Haney or Richardson Hitchens. I think those are competitive fights that could go either way because those are different styles of fights. They're not fighters that's going to get on the front foot and try to bully you and press you out, right? Those type of fighters, the fighters that got a whole lot of power, that can bully you, press you out, got a gas tank, those are the fighters that Ryan is going to want to stay away from. But the Devin Haneys that's going to box, he'll have a chance against a fighter like that. A Richard Hitchinson that's real slick, that don't have a lot of power, but that can box your head off. Those are fighters that Ryan can have a chance beating, right? Because he still got that power. And then you got to have some shit that's going to keep him off of you, right? But Ryan got to fix his inside game. And like I said, I like the Devin Haney matchup because Devin is really not – Devin can fight on the inside a lot better than Ryan, but Devin is not an inside fighter neither. You see what I'm saying? But those are fights that I'm not saying that – and like I said, once again, I not saying that Ryan beats Devin or Ryan beats Hitchens. I'm saying those are fights that are good fights for Ryan, down the line. He can't go nowhere near a fighter like a Regis Prograis or Subriel Matisse or fighters like that, right? Just because of the style. Different styles make different fights. The diehard boxing fans that really know boxing know what I'm saying. But Ryan Garcia called out Rollie. Sheena says Al Booger. And salute to Al Booger, man. I thought Al Booger was a member already. Let me throw my man a wrench. I thought he had a wrench. Shit, I thought he been had a wrench. Let me throw him a wrench real quick. Hold on, I got you right now. Hold on real quick. I got you right now. I got to jump in the comments on my phone to give you a wrench. There you go. You wrenched up. Now, he called out Rollie, right? Now, this gonna sound crazy because I'm going to kind of contradict everything that I was saying, right? Because Rollie is everything I was saying. Rollie a fighter that punch real hard. He can crack, right? Rollie is a rough fighter that put a lot of pressure on you, that want to rough you up. And those are both problems for Ryan Garcia. But the thing about Rollie don't have no fucking chin. And somewhere along the line in that fight with Rollie and Ryan, Ryan is going to catch Rollie coming in and he's going to knock his ass the fuck out. Ryan is going to catch Rollie and knock him the fuck out because one thing that Rollie don't have is no chin and he don't have no skills. So I think that's the best fight for Ryan Garcia. I think it's a fight where Ryan, Rollie got a scrap. Ryan, it's a confidence builder for Ryan because confidence means a lot in boxing, right? It's a confidence booster. You knock out Rollie, and you become a champion. Now, Rollie is ducking Ryan. Rollie don't want no smoke. See, Rollie, he's lost all confidence in himself. And I think a lot of that got to do with social media because these fighters are never admitted, but a lot of these fighters, they let what the fans say, they let that shit get to their head. People been bashing Rollie for a long time, telling him that he's trash and that he's the worst fighter in boxing. You even got his peers saying that how trash he is. And he's the worst champion in all of boxing, right? So Rollie, he don't have no confidence in himself no more. You can tell because Rollie didn't want to fight O'Hara Davis. I remember Rollie at one point in time, Rollie was pretty much willing to fight anybody at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? That's what confidence does for you. Rollie, he was very confident in his abilities, which he don't have too much, but you couldn't tell him that. At one point in time, Rollie was hella confident. But I saw Rollie, and then that last fight with that old man, that just took whatever confidence that Rollie had, it took it all out of him. Y'all got to understand, Rollie got knocked out by Tank Davis. Then he got knocked out in sparring. Then he fought the 60-year-old man, Barroso, and he got dropped and almost knocked out by him. Right? So I think those things, along with what the fans been saying about him, it took all his confidence away. And you see that by Rollie's actions. Because, he's saying that first he said he had a mental illness. That's why he didn't want to defend his title versus Barroso. He was going through some mental issues. That's what his mental issues is. He don't believe in his abilities no more. And he didn't want to lose to a fighter like O'Hara Davis. He didn't want to fight O'Hara Davis. Remember O'Hara Davis, they was going to force that. They were supposed to force that fight. O'Hara Davis was his mandatory. But Rollie, he got Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby behind him. So he was able to use that mental illness excuse and keep his scraps, right? But the real reason is he don't have confidence in himself, and Rollie ain't gonna be in boxing for too much longer. Rollie don't believe he can beat none of these fighters. For years and years, he was saying he was chasing Ryan Garcia, talking mad shit about Ryan Garcia, telling everybody that he was begging to fight Ryan Garcia, talking about what he did to Ryan Garcia in sparring. Now Ryan calls him out, and Rollie talking about some Ryan don't deserve to be in the ring with me. What? He don't. What the fuck? He don't deserve to be in the ring with me. Matter of fact, I don't even want to fight at 140 no more. I want to fight Terence Crawford or Errol Spence at 147. Bro, he's doing all that clown shit because the truth is he don't have no confidence in himself, and he don't want to fight none of these guys because Rollie is afraid that he gonna get knocked out again. But see, that's his way of saying outrageous shit and trolling. So you don't want to focus on what the real issue is, right? That this man is actually scared to get in the ring with any of these fighters. And I'm going to tell y'all right now with Rollie, he's only looking for another big payday because he's been spoon-fed his whole career. Y'all got to understand, Rollie should have never even been a champ. Rollie should have never been a champion at 135, right? He had what, a regular belt or whatever. He had a bullshit strap at 135, the WBA bullshit strap, and that was given to him by Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe. By TMT, it was given to him because Rollie fought Jackson Marinez and lost damn near all 12 rounds. He damn near lost. Jackson Marinez beat the dog shit out of Rollie for that interim strap. Like that was one of the biggest robberies that I've seen in the sport of boxing. I remember at that point in time, I ain't gonna lie to you, I thought Rollie was still like, I thought Rollie was the goods at that point in time. I ain't gonna front, like, because Rollie was knocking out all these bombs and, you know, like he really hadn't been in the ring with nobody to put all of the flaws that he has and exploit it, right? So at that point in time, he's still on the come up and he's running through everybody. So I'm like, this motherfucker good. Plus, he was talking that big shit. And they put him in the ring with Jackson Marinez. And at that point, I didn't know who Jackson Marinez was. And I saw Rollie get the shit beat out of him. Like, I saw, like, and I'm like, this motherfucker then lost like damn near every round. And I remember my nephew and his homeboys, they came to the crib to watch the fight because they had been hearing about Rollie, and you know, Rollie was an up-and-coming name on TMT, and I'm talking about Rollie. I'm like, yeah, man, this dude, this motherfucker right here, he the goods. And I'm telling them he the goods. So I'm talking shit like, man, watch this motherfucker Rollie, man. This motherfucker, he finna get a devastating knockout. And in that fight, I seen that Rollie wasn't shit. I said, damn, I was very wrong about him. And he got a gift decision because I think that everything was set up for him to win, and they wasn't expecting him to get his ass beat like that. They wasn't expecting him to get outboxed by a no name at the point in time, Jackson Marinez. So that shit was a shock to Floyd and Leonard and them. So, you know, they had to do what they had to do, holler at the judges and make sure that the judges robbed the fuck out of Jackson Marinez because, damn, this is the guy that we setting up to fight Tank. That was the whole play. They set Rollie up to fight Tank because remember what Floyd had said. Remember, Floyd was like, oh, it's gonna be all in-house fights. Remember, at that point in time, they was talking about they wanted Tank to fight nobody but TMT fighters, in-house fights. And Rollie was the next up. So they wasn't gonna let a motherfucker like Jackson Marinez come spoil the bag. So that shit happens, right? Bam. So that shit happens, right? And then, man, Rollie get a chance at Tank, and he's been spoon-fed, man. Like, what did he do to deserve a Gervonta Davis fight? Nothing. Then he gets knocked out by Tank, goes to 140 in his first fight. He gets to fight for a strap. The fuck did he do like this motherfucker then lost to Jackson Marinez and got a gift decision, got knocked out by Gervonta Davis, and then gets a title shot at another weight division that you ain't never even fought at. Like, that's so it's crazy, man. He's been spoon-fed his whole career. So Rollie at this point in time, he don't have no confidence. So he's looking for one big money fight. He think that he can talk his way in to another big money fight, and he gonna get out the sport. Rollie is not looking to campaign in the sport of boxing. He don't have this for it, and he don't have the skills. That's it. Like, he's done. Do you think Rollie is ever gonna get in the ring with a Subriel Matisse, a fucking Teofimo Lopez, or you know what I'm saying, a Devin Haney, or any of them? Hell no. Then he talking about 147. He want to fight the best names at one. Like, who he gonna get in there against? Jaron Ennis? Stanionis? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he's done, man. Rollie knows that. The people around Rollie, Floyd Mayweather, well, he's not even with TMT Promotions no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, he still does business. He's not signed under TMT Promotions. A lot of people think he is, but he's not. Give him Conor Ben will put him to sleep. Like, Rollie can't beat none of them dudes. You know what I'm saying? He can't beat none of them dudes. And he just trying to talk himself into a big money fight. And he just going, you know, maybe because I think Rollie, he talked about it before, you know, he always dreamed of being able to get his mother a house. I believe he did that, right? So he made some good money, you know, for him against Tank. And he trying to make him one more big paycheck while it lasts and get up out the sport. Rollie is the Milli Vanilli of boxing. If y'all, you know, the older people in here, y'all know who Milli Vanilli was, but that's who Rollie is. You know what I'm saying? He a fraud. He know it. So that's why he's, you know, saying that now all of a sudden Ryan Garcia don't deserve to be in the ring with him, and he's the A side to everybody but Tank, and he just be saying crazy shit to get people mind off of the real deal. Rollie, he a little bit smarter than people think he is. You know what I'm saying? He know how to deflect. He know how to deflect. But moving along, so man, Rollie, he's ducking Ryan and he ducking all the smoke, man. And they need to strip Rollie and get that fucking title away from him at 140, because why is Rollie holding up the division if y'all know that he don't want to fight nobody? You know what I'm saying? Get that fucking title away from Rollie, man. And it's sad how they did that old 60-year-old man Barroso. They fucked that man over because boxing is a corrupt sport and it's all about money. And Rollie, one thing that Rollie can do is sell. One thing that, hold on, y'all. One thing that Rollie can do is sell. And they fucked up. When Rollie found out that he could sell tickets, that was the worst thing that could have happened. Because this motherfucker think he goddamn, he talking about he the A side to everybody besides Tank. Rollie has lost his fucking mind. Real talk. But moving along, right? Before I get up out of here, I'll talk about Devin Haney, man. And of course, if you talk about Devin Haney, you got to add Bill in there with him. Everybody know that Bill, I mean, not Bill, but you would think Bill was fighting, but everybody know that Devin and Bill Haney, they facing Regis Prograis, right? And y'all heard that Devin and Bill Haney, they facing Regis Prograis because it's a team. Well, Devin fighting Regis Prograis this weekend. But if you're not on YouTube like that, or you're not a diehard boxing fan, you would think that Devin would be fighting anybody but Regis Prograis. Because I didn't heard Devin talk about Gervonta Davis constantly. I done heard Devin talk about Shakur Stevenson constantly. And now I'm hearing Bill Haney, right? Bill Haney and Devin and them talking about motherfucking Keith Thurman. Talking about Keith Thurman, bro. Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios. So I'm getting confused. I'm like, this motherfucker, he talking about everybody but Regis. Bill is running around here talking about everybody but Regis Prograis. Are you fighting Regis Prograis? Or are you fighting Shakur Stevenson? Or are you fighting Gervonta Davis? Or are you fighting Mario Barrios? Or are you fighting Keith Thurman? Who the fuck is Devin fighting? That's what I really want to know. Ultraman, salute. Like, I'm getting confused. Like, he want to talk about everybody but the opponent that he's fighting this coming up Saturday. And another thing that's very, very highly disrespectful is they acting like they already beat Regis. Why is Devin and Bill Haney talking? Well, Bill Haney. Why is Bill talking about moving up to 140, fighting Keith Thurman or Mario Barrios? What are we doing here? You ain't even beat Regis Prograis yet. But why are you even talking about moving up to 147? Like, make this make sense to me, right? For all the Devin Haney fans, Devin Father, I know you're a big Devin Haney fan, right? But all of the Devin Haney fans, y'all got to make this shit make sense to me. You got Bill saying that it's even going to be hard for Devin to make 140. So they already looking to move to 147 their next fight, right? But y'all the same ones that wanted me to believe that Devin sent Shakur an offer and Devin was going to move. Devin was going to stay at 135 to fight Shakur Stevenson. Make this shit make sense to me. Y'all was running with the 25%. Oh my, the 20, he should have taken. Devin was going to 25%. Y'all wanted me to believe that. Y'all wanted everybody to believe that Devin was going to stay at 135, defend his strap against Shakur Stevenson, but they already talking about that it's even going to be hard for him to make 140, so they looking at 147. Talking about Mario Barrios and Keith Thurman. Y'all got to make this shit make sense to me. Y'all motherfuckers ran around here talking about Devin was willing to fight Shakur, 25% this and 25% this, until your motherfucking faces turned blue and blood was running out your nose. You motherfuckers were willing to risk your life on Devin was going to stay at 135 to fight Shakur Stevenson. Y'all got to make this shit make sense to me. When Shakur told y'all from the jump, this motherfucker is just like, they bluffing. Bob Arum came and told y'all, well, we talked to Bill and Devin, and Bill Haney Devin Haney nor his team never displayed any interest in wanting to fight Shakur. That was all just social media shit. The highly respectable Jay Prince, my boss Jay Prince, said that shit was a lie. They never offered us shit. Now Shakur said, well, I wouldn't take it no 25%. He know that. Devin just tried to offer him some shit that he knew I wasn't gonna take. Now, an offer on motherfucker, like I said, once again, I'm gonna continue to say it. An offer on social media, on motherfucking Twitter, is a publicity stunt for the fans, for the media. All Devin Haney did was play the fucking fans and play the media, because Devin, he's a master manipulator, just like Bill, and a master liar. That's what they do. They manipulate a situation and lie. Let me take y'all back. At that point in time where that whole 25% and all that shit came up, right? At that point in time, the whole boxing world was bashing Devin Haney. Remember, they was bashing Devin Haney, saying that Devin was afraid of Vasyl Lomachenko, saying that he lost to Vasyl Lomachenko, They was on his helmet about getting Lomachenko a rematch. They were saying that Shakur will whoop him. Remember, the same shit that everybody is doing to Shakur Stevenson right now, Devin was in that same position before that whole fake-ass 25% shit that happened on Twitter happened, right? Devin wanted to get the motherfucking criticism off of him. Now, he knows he can't do that shit to Tank because Tank got a big fan base. It ain't going to ride. So I'm going to do it to Shakur. So if I can flip the hate and the attention off of me onto Shakur and make it look like that I'm once again the boogeyman, that Shakur is afraid of me, and brilliant. Now, Devin also knows, and Bill also knows how social media works, right? You get the right person that's going to play along. Shakur Stevenson is the perfect person to play along because Shakur got a big-ass mouth. And Shakur is not going to do like Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis will see some bullshit, and Tank Davis is going to ignore it. Shakur ain't going to ignore shit. Shakur is going to feed right into it. So let's fuck with Shakur. Let's make some shit seem like what it really ain't. We know how Shakur is because we didn't grew up with Shakur since we was kids. We know Shakur is going to feed right into it, right? We know Shakur going to feed into it. Shakur going to get on Twitter. He going to go back and forth. He going to feed right into this shit. We going to set a trap. We going to run him into it. And then all of the focus, the hatred, and the attention is going to be off of me. And they're going to be hating on Shakur. Shakur took the fucking trap. Bingo. Now Devin Haney is Lord Devin Haney. Everybody's afraid of Devin Haney. Shakur, bitch. Shakur should have took the 25% that was really never an offer. Shakur's cap and this and that, when all that shit was all that shit was smoke and mirrors. It was a fucking plan cooked up very nicely by Devin and Bill Haney. When I told you niggas from the very beginning, right? Before we got into all the back and forth, I said the bottom line is Devin's never going to fight at 135 again. He can't make the weight healthy. And I told y'all, I said, I don't even want to see Devin and Shakur fight at 135 because it's going to look bad. Right? Why would you fight a Tank? Like, let's just keep it a buck. Let's get off of all of the petty shit, right? Let's get away from all of the petty shit and let's tell the truth. And I said at that point in time, I really don't want to see Devin fight Tank at 135 because if you look at how Devin Haney looked trying to make 135 pounds, and I'm going to continue to say this, right? We can talk petty and say that Devin is ducking and he's scared of Shakur and he's scared of Tank at 135 and all of that, right? But let's just keep it real. If you look at how that man looked come out of the weigh-in when he tried to weigh in for George Kambosos, right? Looking like he was fucking gonna die. And somehow he made the weight. Then, Bill, in the lead up to him fighting Lomachenko, Devin told everybody the opposite of what Bill was saying. Bill was lying, saying we stand at fucking 135. We fighting Tank or Shakur next, right? Came on my channel and guaranteed that he was fighting Tank or Shakur next. I said, okay, I'm going to hold you to that, Bill. Now, Devin was saying, I don't know. It all depends on how training camp goes and how I make the weight this time around. It all depends on if I can make the weight healthy or not. We seen Devin had to weigh in 2 or 3 times to make the weight versus Vasyl Lomachenko, right? Didn't make the weight on the first try. He didn't make the weight on the first try. He had to weigh in multiple times. Then we seen the picture of Devin Haney walking out of the official weigh-in, and he looked like Michael Jackson in his last days. I'm talking about you can see his fucking bones stuck all the way in. This motherfucker, like they tried to hide him walking out of the weigh-in. He looked like 50 Cent on All Things Fall Apart. That motherfucker was looking like, I don't want to say that, you know, he was looking like fucking, he had HIV and he had 1 day to live. That motherfucker looking like he had full-blown AIDS with 1 day to live. And at that point in time, anybody with any common sense knew Devin ain't staying at the weight division. He can no longer fight at 135, right? He can no longer make the weight. He could no longer make the weight, right? We knew that. But Bill and Devin Haney, with all the lying and the capping, and then Bill put Devin in a bad situation because Bill hopping up on every platform before Devin fought Shakur. Before Devin fought Lomachenko, telling everybody, we ain't going nowhere. We staying at 135. We ain't moving up. We right here. Yeah, we defending our straps. If Shakur or Tank wanted, we right here. We ain't going nowhere. Bill ran his fucking mouth. So at that point in time, he put Devin in the fucked up situation. Because if Devin just say, you know what, I can't make the weight no more, I'm moving up to 140. If Tank or Shakur want to see me, he got to see me. They got to see me at 140 because I just can't make the weight no more. He put Devin in the bad spot because now Devin can't say that. Devin can't say that because if Devin say that, well, you're ducking because that ain't what your daddy said, right? This is the thing. Because see, everything that Devin and Bill do, they do it for the fans and the media to look a certain way in the media with the fans. We can't just come out and tell the truth because now the fans and the media are going to say that we're afraid of Tank and we're afraid of Shakur. We duck it. We can't say that. Dad then ran around and jumped his lying ass on every platform and said that we will stand at 135. Now Dad then put Devin in a fucked up situation because Devin like, Dad, why did you say that, Dad? Dad, I almost killed myself making the weight, Dad. Look how I fought against Lomachenko, Dad. I was weak, Dad. You don't put your kid in the fucked up situation because you want to show out in front of the cameras. Now what do? What we do? People going to be pressing us about fighting Tank and Shakur now. Tank ain't going to respond. Tank fan base too big for us to run the bullshit with Tank. You know what? Shakur a hot-head motherfucker. We gonna put Shakur in the trap. Shakur's a hothead motherfucker. We're going to put Shakur in the motherfucking trap because Shakur going to fall right in the trap. He's hot-headed. He going to argue and he going to respond to everything. So, bam, we got him. We got him. Now we got all the dumbass fans that'll believe anything we say, that'll jump off a fucking cliff if we tell them that if some of y'all act like that. If Devin and Bill told y'all that y'all can jump off the top of fucking the Eiffel Tower and land on your feet and not break a bone in your body, y'all will try that shit. Y'all believe Devin and Bill that much, you would try it. Now, you wouldn't live to see the outcome, but you definitely would try it. Joseph Jackson, he definitely would try that shit. If Bill called him on the phone right now and told Joseph Jackson, hey, man, I see it in you, Joseph. Hey, I see it in you, dog. You the one. You the one. Man, if I get my private jet, we going to go to the top of the Eiffel Tower right now. You the one. You can jump off this motherfucker and you ain't going to break shit. I guarantee you, Joseph Jackson, you ain't going to break a motherfucking thing because you the one. He going to believe that shit, bro. He going to believe every bit of it. He going to try that shit. And his family going to be mourning. His family going to be mad at Bill. Telling y'all. But, man, and so I'm not a dummy. I tried to tell y'all what they was doing from the beginning. But y'all just didn't have fucking sense enough. A lot of, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of y'all don't have sense enough to be like, okay, yeah, Bill and Devin, they fronting, they pump faking because they told everybody that they was going, because not even Devin didn't say that, right? But Bill told everybody that Devin was going to stay at 135. Now, Devin don't have no, but now Devin, he going to back up his dad. So now, in order to back up Bill, they got to lie on top of lie. Devin got to lie some more. This you contradict yourself. This don't make sense. Then you got to come with another lie. And then it helps when you got platform after platform after platform after platform that's pro Devin Haney. You got all these Devin Haney platforms that's going to build a narrative on whatever Bill Haney says. You got all these platforms. You got the biggest platforms of like let's just keep it real. You got from the biggest platforms of boxing to the smallest ones. But all of the big platforms in boxing are all pro Devin Haney. Bill Haney did that. Bill Haney did that with the footwork that he put in boxing. It wasn't always like that. Bill Haney did that. I'm going to make a perfect example. The boxing voice. I know Daniel personally. Before Daniel ever even thought about talking boxing, I knew him personally. Been on the road with Daniel when he first started doing this boxing shit. Daniel from the Boxing Voice. I know this personally. Right? Bill, the reason they so close with Bill and Devin is because Daniel been close with Danny Alvarez. He been close with Bill for years. No, I mean not Bill, with Devin for years. But at one point, they wasn't pro Devin Haney like that. They was close with Shakur too. Danny had a relationship with Shakur Stevenson. But see, all of a sudden now, it's hate on Shakur Stevenson and pro Devin. Y'all might ask yourself why. Because Bill is the one that's showing up, giving them interviews. Bill is smart. If I'm the one that get close to all of these platforms, when they're going to run with whatever narrative I want to run with. That's just what it is. Y'all don't see what the fuck be going on. I'm going to speak on that shit. See, don't nobody else want to speak on that shit. I'll speak on the real. That's all it is. Bill is, you got to understand, a lot of people are opportunists. A lot of people look at Bill and they opportunists because they're like, okay, we can get views off of Bill. We can get close to Devin Haney. And then Bill looking at them the same way. Shit. They running this YouTube shit. Boxing live on YouTube. If I can get all of these platforms to run with my narrative, I'm winning. But y'all know what? Y'all know what? You know what the funny thing is? You can talk as much as you want to. You can run with every narrative you want to. When you get in that motherfucking ring, y'all can't help none of these fighters in that ring. So like Bernard Hopkins said, and I'm going to use, and I like what Bernard Hopkins said, boxing will call your bluff. You know what I'm saying? Because the higher they put you on a pedestal, all of the motherfucking lies and the narratives, the longer the fall. The longer the fall. So Devin gonna have to keep up all of that shit. At the end of the day, it don't matter fucking what boxing channels you got on your side. You're gonna have to keep that shit up in the ring. Now it helps if you decide that you want to pick and choose who you fight, because the fans are gonna roll with you. But it ain't gonna last forever. It's not gonna last forever. Because at the end of the day, you put somebody up on a pedestal and they really not what you think they are, we're gonna eventually find out. It could be a year from now. It could be 8 months from now. It could be next week. It could be 5 years from now. You're going to find out. And heavy is the head that wears the crown, right? Devin ain't going to be able to maneuver and pick and choose who he fight like Leonard Ellaby and Floyd was doing for Tank, because Devin don't bring the excitement that Tank Davis did. See, Tank was able to build and not fight the best competition because he brings excitement to the table. People going to pay to see knockouts. Devin, in order for him to sell out and people to pay to see him like that, he's going to have to fight the best competition. Maybe not back to back to back, but he's going to have to fight some of these names, because people ain't going to pay to see Devin against motherfucking goddamn Hector Lopez and shit like that. Devin ain't going to be able to run that game. He ain't going to be able to pay. They ain't going to pay to see him fight nobody. They'll pay to see Tank fight nobody because they want to see knockouts. Devin he can't run that game. Shakur can't run that game. You see what I'm saying? Fighters like Devin and Shakur, in order for people to pay to see them, they got to fight other names. So, like I said, they can run with that, with the narratives and the lies and all that shit. But if he ain't who he say he is, it's going to get exploited. You feel me? It's going to get exploited. Remember that. Mark my words. And Devin got a lot of shit he needs to tighten up on with all the shit that Bill and Devin talk. You know what I'm saying? Now, I respect Devin because, he was put in a great position, right? Kambosos ain't it. Some trash. But hey, Kambosos, he was put in a position to where he was able to catch Teofimo Lopez on the off night. But like Shakur said, you got your ass beat on the off night and I won. People don't forget that shit. A lot of your favorite fighters get their ass beat on the off night. You can have an off night and win. That's different. But like I said, man, we're going to find out. Because at 140 pounds, it ain't no ducking and dodging. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, if Devin Haney move up to 147 and fuck with a Mario Barrios or a Keith Thurman, he going to get his ass beat. Devin cannot beat Mario Barrios nor Keith Thurman. Now, a lot of y'all might not like what I'm about to say. Mario Barrios is a much better fighter at 147 than he was when he fought Tank at 140. Y'all might not like that shit, but Mario Barrios is a much better fighter, healthy, no rehydration clause at 147 than he was when he fought Tank at 140. Tank gonna make sure he get an advantage. And I know what went on in training camp with Mario Barrios. I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm not gonna say it, but Mario Barrios was not healthy fighting at 140 pounds. He wasn't healthy in that training camp. So Mario Barrios is a much better fighter at 147 than he was at 140 fighting Tank. And Devin Haney will be the first to fucking find out if he go up there trying to fuck with Mario Barrios. And if he go up there trying to fuck with Keith Thurman, he gonna find out that Keith Thurman still is good enough to knock his ass out. Devin can't do nothing better than Keith Thurman. He can't. Devin ain't never been the fighter that Keith Thurman was when Keith Thurman just last fought. Y'all forgetting that Keith Thurman beat Mario Barrios damn near every round. Keith Thurman dominated Mario Barrios. Dominated Mario Barrios. And Mario Barrios just got done dominating Ugis. But I know Bill Haney. Bill Haney don't have no intentions on fighting no Mario Barrios nor Keith Thurman at 147 pounds. Don't. Bill Haney says shit to get a rise out of the fans so we could do what I'm doing right now, so we can have shit to talk about. Now, I know he's full of shit, but I'm going to talk about it because a lot of people going to believe what Bill Haney said. A lot of people think that if Devin beats if he beats Regis Prograis, that Devin going to straight to 147 to fight Mario Barrios or Keith Thurman. A lot of people believe that shit. I know that Bill is doing what he always do, talking bullshit to get a rise out of the fans, to keep Devin Haney's name in everybody's mouth. And he's doing a great job of it, man. He's doing a great job of it. But like I said, heavy is the head that wears the crown. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. So all of the talking that he does, putting Devin Haney on this high pedestal, and you can have as many platforms to run with the narratives and lies that you speak. At the end of the day, motherfucking Nestor Gibbs from the Boxing Force, my boy Danny from the Boxing Force, BFTV, motherfucking goddamn whoever, right? Whoever and everybody, that all the fans, Dank Father, my man Joseph Jackson, can't nobody get in the ring with Devin Haney. Can't nobody get in the ring with him. For real. And that narrative, those narratives ain't gonna last too long for Devin, because he doesn't got what Tank has. He gonna have to fight these motherfuckers to put asses in the seats. He gonna have to fight some killers. Real talk. But see, me at the end of the day, I'm not like most boxing fans. Devin can lose, but as long as he's fighting the best, I'm still going to show him respect. I'm a type of fan that I'm going to show you the utmost respect if you getting in there against the best. I'm going to talk shit about you if you ducking and dodging motherfuckers, you fighting Rudy Poots. But as long as you're getting there against the best, I'm going to give you your respect, win, lose, or draw. So I'm going to respect it. But like I said, we're going to find out. John Kramer says Dev fuck around and beat Thurman. He ain't beating Thurman, dog. Thurman punched too hard. Thurman can box better than Devin. Thurman got a jab. Like what can Devin do better than Keith Thurman? Let's just keep it real. Like as boxing fans, and this is not no hate on Devin. Like, what can Devin Haney do better than Keith Thurman? What? He can't stay on the outside and move and jab. And that's Keith Thurman's game. How the fuck you gonna beat Keith Thurman at his game? Keith Thurman is a power puncher and a superb boxer. How the fuck you gonna stay on the outside and move around and beat Keith Thurman? You're not outboxing Keith Thurman. Like that's how I know some of y'all don't know shit about boxing. How you gonna outbox Keith Thurman? That's his game. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You ain't outboxing Keith Thurman. Devin can't box on the level of Keith Thurman, and then you moving up in a higher weight division where Keith Thurman touched you one time flush and you're going to sleep. I don't give a fuck if Keith Thurman ain't in his prime no more. You saying he was good enough to beat Mario Barrios' ass? King D, yes or no? Was Keith Thurman good enough to beat Mario Barrios' ass? Was Keith Thurman good enough to dominate Mario Barrios? And he was inactive then. He fought Mario Barrios coming off a 3-year layoff and dominated him. So y'all sitting there telling me that Devin Haney can outbox Keith Thurman? Come here, with what? What he got to keep? What does he have to keep Keith Thurman off of him? He can't move and stay away from Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman can use his legs just as good as Devin Haney can. He can't outbox. Come on, man, y'all. But Tina says, "Did you see Bill try to pretend to train Devin? Has he ever put on boxing gloves?" I don't know. I don't think so, but I think that he's been around a whole lot of trainers to know a little something. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not my opinion. That's me knowing boxing. You know what I'm saying? That's me knowing boxing. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if Keith Thurman ain't been active. You can't just assume that Keith Thurman just forgot everything he fucking know because he been in that. He's still good enough to beat the shit out of Devin Haney. Real talk. An active Keith Thurman destroys Devin Haney within 5 rounds. An inactive Keith Thurman just, you know what I'm saying? Devin might be able to go to decision with him. It's the only difference. King D, we know that you're a Devin Haney dick rider. You gotta be, bro, because you just said that Mario Barrios had Keith Thurman running from body shots. Keith Thurman beat the dog shit out of Mario Barrios. Beat the dog shit out of Mario Barrios. Fight wasn't even close. Mario Barrios might have won 1 round in that whole fight. Dominated Mario Barrios more than I've seen anybody dominate Mario Barrios. Now, Tank did get the knockout, but Tank didn't dominate Mario Barrios like Keith did. And I'm just talking about just beating him every round, beating him up every round. And like I said, let Devin Haney go up. Like, we're talking about some shit that's fantasy that's not going to actually happen, but because a lot of y'all are gullible enough to believe that Keith Thurman and Devin Haney are going to fight, y'all will believe that Devin is going to go to 147 to fight Keith Thurman. That's the only reason this is a conversation, because y'all the same ones that believe that Keith Thurman and Tank was in talks to happen next. And I told y'all actually believe this shit? Motherfuckers was running around having debates on who would win between Keith Thurman and Tank, and that was the fight that was going to be next. And I kept telling y'all, this shit ain't real. This is some made-up bullshit. Tank ain't fighting Keith Thurman, and y'all was running around talking about video after video. Tank versus Keith Thurman next. Tank and Keith Thurman in talks. And then finally, Steven Espinoza came and told y'all that shit was a whole lie. That was some bullshit. And then everybody got quiet and act like that they wasn't making videos and having debates about Tank and Keith Thurman. Like, come on, man. But anyway, it's some bullshit. It ain't happening. I'm gonna show y'all that Devin ain't moving up to 140 to fight Mario Barrios nor Keith Thurman. It ain't happening. And if he were to move up, he'd get his ass beat. Yeah, Cassandra, let them know they better they better back up off Keith Thurman. They know better. They know better, because you can say, well, Keith Thurman's been inactive. That's cool. You a fan. You are a fan of the sport. That you ain't in the ring taking the blows. You're not in the gym training, right? So because a fan says, well, man, Devin got a chance because Keith Thurman been inactive, truthfully, you don't know that shit. You don't know what Keith Thurman gonna look like when he get in the ring. All we can do is take Keith Thurman on how he looked his last performance. And if we take Keith Thurman on how he looks his last performance against Mario Barrios, he'll beat the shit out of Devin Haney and put him to sleep. That's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? That's all we can do. Yeah, that's all they doing, Dundon, is clout chasing Keith Thurman's name. What is a name that everybody believed that we'll go and fight? And what they did is they piggybacked off the lie that people was making up with Tank. Remember, first it was Tank versus Keith Thurman. They piggybacked, and Steven Espinoza came out and let everybody know that was some bullshit. That was a lie. Now here come fucking Bill and Devin. They want to piggyback off that fucking now. Oh, well, we'll fight Keith Thurman. We willing to move up to fight Keith Thurman since Tank didn't want to do it. Man, y'all don't see through this bullshit. Y'all don't see through this bullshit. Like, come on, man. Jonathan Jackson says, I haven't heard not one fact, only opinions. You also the same one that said that you ain't never heard Devin Haney or Bill Haney tell a lie. You and the Jacksons, right? The Jackson twins, Joseph Jackson and Jonathan Jackson. I think it's the same motherfucker with two different accounts. Right? You also said that you never heard Devin or Bill Haney tell a lie. They also said, you know what I'm saying, the Jacksons both said they never heard Devin or Bill ever tell a lie. So, I mean, that lets you know everything that y'all need to know about the Jacksons. He said, false, we brothers, you just lied. Okay, well, the Jackson brothers, y'all must be motherfucking Siamese twins because y'all both think the same. And if y'all jumped off that cliff that Bill Haney would tell y'all to jump off of, y'all would actually have to jump off at the same time. Hey, for real. Y'all both would have to jump off at the same time, the Jackson twins. The Jackson Siamese twins. Rodney says, I lie every day on this channel. If I lie every day, why your stupid ass over here listening to a liar? Right? That makes you a fucking idiot, right? Why would you be over here listening to a liar and you said every day? So why the fuck would you listen to somebody lie to you every day? How stupid does that make you? Can anybody make that shit make sense to me? Can anybody make that shit make sense to me? This motherfucker came in here and said, I lie on this channel every day. So that means that he comes and listens to me every day. And why the fuck is you listening to a liar every day? King D says, Keith Thurman will get stepped on by all top 5 welterweights right now. Who is all top 5 welterweights? And what qualifies you to say that Keith Thurman to get stumped on by all top 5 welterweights? Who beat Keith Thurman for you to say that he gets stumped on by all top 5 heavy welterweights? Answer that question, and then we can have a conversation. What qualifies you to say that Keith Thurman gets stumped on by all top 5 welterweights right now? And answer who beat Keith Thurman that qualifies you to say that. Jonathan Jackson and Joseph Jackson. Both of you Siamese twin ass niggas need to shut the fuck up, because you came in here and you said that you never heard Bill or Devin tell a lie. So that don't qualify you to talk ever again. At least for the remainder of this show. Y'all shouldn't say nothing at all, because y'all have a hard time keeping it real. Y'all have a hard time keeping it real and fucking being in reality, right? Y'all both have a hard time keeping it real and being in reality. Because if you can sit up here in my chat and tell me you've never heard Bill or Devin tell a lie, like for real, you don't need to speak no more. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And if I need to name the lies that Bill has told for you, if I got to name the lies, you might need to fucking go back to school and learn some common sense. Well, I don't know how they gonna teach you common sense, because you actually, because I mean, I don't know how you just ain't gonna ever have it. For real. You might need to pray to Jesus to give you some common sense if I gotta tell you what lies have Bill Haney ever told. But man, hey man, y'all crazy as fuck, man. Hey, it's that shit amazes me. The type of y'all some characters, man. It be some characters on this damn YouTube for real. Like I like to really be like, I like to fuck with, I like to fuck with y'all and go back and forth and shit, because it makes shit fun. But in all honesty, I really be like shocked on just the mindset of some of y'all grown ass men. Like real talk, I really be shocked. Like I be like, man, these is grown ass men I'm talking to. Like for real, shit crazy, man. I do fuck. I be fucking with y'all going back and forth. It's all fun and games, but I do be thinking like, man, these is grown ass men I'm talking to, right? Real like I be tripping like, man, these grown ass men that do all of this shit for somebody that don't give a fuck about them. Diana, much blessings to you, Queen. Much blessings to you. The Jackson twins. I want y'all to hit up Bill Haney and Devin Haney right now, right? I want y'all to hit up Bill or Devin, choose one, and tell them you behind on your rent or your house note, and let me know how much they send you. Let me know how much they send you. Joseph Jackson, that ain't what I said. I don't give a fuck if what you own, what you could be filthy rich. Bill Haney and Devin don't know that. So like I said, give them a phone call. Tell them you behind on your notes and see how much money they send you. And let me know when you get that bread. Hey, Box Pie, what's happening with it? Salute. Yeah. Yeah. You see how y'all start deflecting? Cause see, what you don't want to admit, Bill nor Devin, they ain't finna give you a motherfucking thing. Bill nor Devin don't give a fuck about a Joseph, a Jonathan, or a Jackson. And not just Bill or Devin, don't none of these other fighters do it neither. So the moral of the story is stop sacrificing your integrity to lie for men that ain't never gonna do shit for you. Right? That's the moral of the whole story. Let's stop sacrificing our integrity to lie, right? To lie, to just do weird shit for these fighters that ain't finna do shit for you. Wouldn't spit on your motherfucking flames if you was burning. Straight up. Joseph Jackson, let me ask you a question, man. How old are you? Joseph Jackson, how old are you, man? Put your age in. How old are you? Don't lie. How am I going to tell them motherfucker? I shouldn't even say that. I told him not to lie when he been lying for a whole nother grown man this whole time, and I expect him not to lie in this chat. I'm fucking with you, dog. He said 22. That says all I need to know. That's all I need to know. You say you got your own car business. Salute, man. That's good. That's good. But before I get off here, that's the problem with the youth nowadays, because you still like you're a kid to me, right? You're a young man, but you doing whatever you're doing in life, and salute to you. But your age group, that's the problem with y'all. Y'all idolize athletes. I said it earlier. Y'all idolize athletes and celebrities. And a lot of y'all didn't have no father figures. So you see people like Bill Haney, Devin Haney, maybe your favorite fighter, athlete, and y'all idolize those men. And it's bad because y'all grew up in the age of, matter of fact, I'm Rodney, this is what I'm gonna do for you, dog. Now you can watch me from the background. Now, y'all grew up, and then I'm keeping it 100, right? I'm keeping it real. Y'all will realize later on, y'all grew up in the age of social media. You know what I'm saying? Stuck to a phone 24/7. So there's a lot of it's deep, but I understand it. I understand it, man. So, and I see that a lot. You don't get what I'm saying, but the older people in here, they know exactly what I'm saying. You know, that's why you willing to, like I said, you willing to sacrifice. And Omega Red, salute. I see you in here. You willing to sacrifice your integrity for other men. Bro, I'm not finna get on here and waste my time sacrificing my integrity for no other fucking man. You know what I'm saying? At all. Men that I don't know. That ain't finna do shit for me if I get fucked up. But y'all willing to do that. Y'all really will do that. And I see that shit all of the time, man. And that shit crazy. That shit crazy. But anyway, you know, that's the way of the world now. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully y'all learn some shit, a lesson. You know, some of y'all it's gonna go through one ear and out the other. But hey. He said, Todd Switter said these dudes ain't never drank out of outside faucet. Man, they the internet taught them. You know what I'm saying? The internet taught them, bro. You know what I'm saying? They was raised off of shit that Bill and Devin do. And what I mean by that is everything to these guys is true because it was said on the internet, right? If it's on the internet, it's real to them. That's what it is. They ain't gonna understand it right now, but later on down the line, they'll understand everything I was saying. You getting your own money don't have nothing to do with you idolizing celebrities and athletes. What the fuck does you getting your own money have to do with you idolizing celebrity and athletes? Don't have nothing to do. Two completely different things. And that's another thing that is the problem with y'all generation. Y'all think because you may have some money, that shit don't make you real. That shit don't make you have integrity because you got money. Bro, that shit don't fucking mean nothing at all. Money cannot substitute integrity and morals and just being real. Bro, that and so that let me know where your mindset is. You know what I'm saying? That let me know where your mindset is. But I'm glad that we had this dialogue because sometimes, right, when I look at comments, I don't know who I'm talking to, right? Because I don't know who I'm talking to behind the comments. I don't know what age group is saying what they saying, right? So I might talk to you different now that I know that you only 22. I'm not gonna talk to you like that no more because I'm not going to expect your mind to be at where my mind is at. Or I'm not going to expect your mind to be at where Diana's mind or Todd Swindle or some of the people that I know that's, older, right? Now, if you in your late 30s and 40s or 50 and you coming in here making the comments that I read, I'm looking at you some type of way. So now I know, what age group y'all in. I'm not finna, next time, I'm not finna, I ain't finna, I'm gonna look at your comments different. You know what I'm saying? Next time, I promise you, I'm not gonna look so. I'm gonna still dialogue and fuck with you, but I'm not gonna think like I would if Todd Swindle was coming in here making those same comments that I've seen you make, or Emmanuel Carter, or if Cassandra or somebody. I'm not gonna think the same way, because if I seen them coming in here making comments like some of y'all be making. I'm like, that's it's a whole different level. You saying it's hilarious. No, it's hilarious to you because you just young, bro. You young, and you feel like I'm belittling you. But I got kids almost your age, for real. Like dead shit, I got kids in your age group. So I mean, yeah. So don't don't act like I know how y'all think. I know how y'all think, man. For real. So I mean, that ain't y'all fault, man. That like real talk, that ain't y'all fault. It's just like I said, the internet raised y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, the internet raised y'all, man. Y'all fucked up. Until you get to an age to where you gonna realize a lot of this shit, you fucked up, man. Y'all was raised completely different than people our age group, you know what I'm saying, was raised. Mr. Davis says trolling is the new age language. That's why every comment is followed by laughing emojis, constant talking about clowns like trolls. Yeah, man, it's internet raised y'all, so it's different, man. Like that's why if I look at it weird for some men, right? And when I say like grown ass men, I'm talking about people in their late 30s, 40s, 50s. Now, if y'all were on here defending and lying for these fighters, you know what I'm saying, and just blatantly doing shit like that, I'm looking at it different than I look at a 22-year-old, kid doing that shit, man. Because shit, it's just different. It's different. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, you laughing because you said it's funny. I laughed at a lot of shit. I laughed at a lot of shit my folks was telling me when I was your age too. But I tell you like this, a lot of that shit I wish I had to listen to. Instead of laughing, a lot of that shit I wish I had to listen to. Now it's not opinions, bro. It's not an opinion. I'm telling you some real shit. But like I said, I mean, you don't have the brain capacity to realize that right now. Dundada says, now 22, you too old for that. I expect that from an 8-year son. Nah, bro, he's not too old for that. He's not too old for that. He just don't, you know what I'm saying? He just don't realize, bro. It's different, man. These kids is raised by the internet. It's a whole different world now, man. Their minds are not even near. Like, and I'm not trying to talk shit, right? Because I have kids. But I realize their mind, right? The way they learn, the way that they think is nowhere near what it was in my generation when I was coming up, bro. These kids couldn't fucking read you couldn't tell these kids nowadays some directions and they pull up without using the GPS. I can't even do it no more. But you know what I'm saying? At one point in time, we ain't had no choice. You can't tell these fucking kids a phone number and then expect them to remember that shit fucking an hour later. It's a lot of shit that's different, bro. When they be on tablets and shit, man. We was outside. We was going through actual real life experiences and things like that. These kids don't even know how to talk to a woman no more, face to face. We ain't had no fucking choice. If they can't type some shit on the text, they don't know, man. That's for the girls too. They don't know how to have no fucking conversation. Like it's just a whole different. Joseph Jackson says, "Send me your current location." That's why they make phones. That's why you miss the whole point that I was making, bro. You know what I'm saying? Phones is a tool. I mean, the internet and all this smart shit that they got out, that's a tool to dumb the human down. That shit don't do nothing but make you dumber. And it's like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my folks' generation was much smarter than our generation. You know what I'm saying? Knockout said, bro, if your phone died, your ass won't even know how to make it home. Like, he wouldn't. But see, they missing the point that I'm telling them. He think that I'm talking shit to him and try to belittle him, but I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just saying, like, man, when you like, it's a big difference, bro. He's saying GPS in the car. Bro, most people, I got GPS in my car, but that don't have nothing to do with the point that I'm making. What Knockout just told you, right? If your shit died in your car, you wouldn't know how to get home. And I'm not talking shit, right? Now I know how to read a map, but y'all don't even know how to read a map nowadays. We so used to things the way it is because, see, you're a kid, bro. To me, you've never seen things no different because you grew up in the internet age. You've never seen life without, right? The shit that you see, you've never seen life without that. I grew up, we didn't have none of that shit, right? So now we've had it for so long, even myself, right? We've had it for so long. If somebody gave me directions right now, I don't know how to get to that spot because I'm so used to using, well, shit, I can get in my phone, I can put the address in and bam. But back in the day, before it was these right here, before I had a cell phone, before it was the internet and all that shit, if you told me, go down such and such, you're going to make a left on such and such, then you're going to hop on the freeway, you're going to get off on this exit, right? You're going to go down about 5 miles, right? You're going to make a left on such and such, and then we're pulling right up with no problem. You motherfucker, we ain't doing that now. We can't do that shit now. But see, we were smart enough to be able to do that back then. We smart enough to be able to do that back then. We could read and write at a fucking way higher level than y'all can nowadays. Because y'all got autocorrect. We ain't have none of that shit. If they shut this shit down, y'all would be fucked up. Motherfucker half of y'all wouldn't know how to spell, none of that shit, man. Super Show 31 says, bro, my dad can't read. What are you talking about? So you thought it was smart to come in here and say that your dad can't read for what? For what? What? What did you, what was the point of telling me that why would you even come in here and want people to know that your dad can't read? A1 Who's On says, ETB, these young people don't know how to listen. They only hear what you're saying. Understand and comprehending is not the same at all, bro. Understanding and comprehending, they don't understand or comprehend at all, bro. Like, I'll put up a post on YouTube community, right? And I'll just do that shit sometimes just to see how many people couldn't even comprehend some simple shit that I put up and completely missed the point. Knockout said, talking about y'all dealing with mental health issues when it's really just life. Because because everything is dealt with over the internet, bro. So when they have to actually face real life shit, they can't face that shit, man. But yeah, man, we just, like I said, man, just kicking the shit. Like, you got some special young people that actually will listen and they'll learn, because they're gonna listen. But that's a very few. Like I said, I mean, shit, a lot of the shit that older people was telling me went right through my ear, but they ain't told me nothing wrong. So I'm not gonna just act like, we didn't do a lot of the same shit, but we was a lot more intelligent because we didn't have the certain things to dumb us down that they do. We didn't. That's just the truth. We really didn't. Emmanuel Carter says some people in here wouldn't know what to do with no internet. They wouldn't. They'll lose their fucking mind, bro. And us, we guilty of this shit too. We're guilty of the same thing, but I think that a lot of us are blessed because we didn't come up in the internet age, right? We didn't come up in the internet age, right? So, like, kids that came up in the internet age, if it's said on the internet, that shit is real. I don't believe nothing I see on the fucking internet. Like, I'm like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that my mind is like, I'm thinking totally, completely different because I'm like, man, I don't give a fuck about that shit. I ain't come up in the internet age. People go to the internet to talk shit and talk about what they gonna do to somebody now. Like that shit, like that's weird to me. People go to the internet and tell you, oh, I'm finna pull up and I'm finna do this and I'm finna or to call people out. Like that shit is weird to me. People go to the internet to tell all their business to a bunch of motherfuckers that they don't even know. But to me, I'm looking at that shit like that shit is weird. But to them, that's normal. People go to the internet to vent about shit. And I'm like, these motherfuckers don't know you. They just want to see you doing bad. If they most of these motherfuckers on the internet be lying, they want to see somebody else doing bad with them. And it's just a whole bunch of shit. But that's normal to a lot of people. And a lot of that shit ain't normal to me. Like people, like real shit. People will go on the internet to wish their wife or husband or kids a happy birthday when they kids and wife be sitting right next to them. I always thought that shit was like crazy because I'm like, man, we in the same house. Fuck, I'm going on the internet and telling you happy birthday. Like, I mean, just little shit to me. But like I said, there ain't nothing wrong with that. But I look at shit like that and I think it's because I'm like, bro, we in the same fucking house. Why am I going to the internet when I can just tell you to your face? Like, I didn't grow up like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, you know, I'm not finna go to the internet and tell you I'm finna whoop somebody at. Like, kids do that shit now. Motherfuckers be having drugs and showing it on the internet and guns, and that's normal now to a certain age of people. Because the internet is real to them. But to me, it's just that shit is not real. Love and Down Gaither says everything boxing. I constantly have to tell my son the internet not real, bro. I don't have to know you to know that where your mind is at. The fact that you thought that telling me that you had money was gonna make me think that, like, you think the fact that you spoke enough and you thought that you having money was making you real. And I'm not saying you're not real. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's the problem, bro. That shit don't make you have no morals, integrity, nothing. Most of these celebrities with money, they faker than a fucking $4 bill. Don't have no integrity, don't have no morals, and did anything to get where they at. P. Diddy got a fucking $1 billion. How you think P. Diddy was a billionaire? What you think that he had to do to get that much money? Think about that shit. Ask yourself that. As a black man, in order to become a billionaire, to have that much money, unless you Floyd Mayweather and got it from, you know, unless you're an athlete, Floyd, LeBron James, what you fuck you think a black man in the music industry or any type of business have to do to become a billionaire? Think about that shit. I'm gonna leave it at that. A1 Hoop Zone says, what about the ones he said, what about the ones who record themselves committing a crime, then call everybody a rat, play stupid games, win stupid prize? Yeah, man. Like, but that's normal. That's normal to yeah, that's normal to the internet age generation, bro. They don't because that's all they know. That's all they know, man. You feel me? Unless you got somebody to school you and just make you realize that shit ain't what you think it is. Shit ain't what it seems. This internet shit ain't real. A lot of this shit is a facade and smoke and mirrors. You'll never understand, man. Big Dog Willie, the diabolical, infamous Haney coat. Yeah, and Joseph Jackson and the Jackson twins, right? This don't have nothing to do with Devin Haney, right? Y'all got singled out just because of some of your comments, so I could tell where your mind frame is at, right? It don't have nothing to do with money, right? So y'all got singled out. But this is not just y'all. See this shit every day. See this shit every day. This I could go a lot deeper, but I ain't gonna do it. Emmanuel Carr said you can't even fight a person without someone pulling their phone out and shit like that. It's different, man. So it's a lot different. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot different, man. Bro, first of all, bro, you not finna come up here and I'm not finna drop no link, right? You know what I'm saying? To talk to no hard-headed ass. What the fuck you gonna tell me, bro? You know what I'm saying? You just don't understand what I'm saying. So you want to come up here and do what a young cat your age want to do. You don't listen to shit. You just want to argue and think that you know when you really don't. You know what I'm saying? See, the difference between me and a lot of people, I don't give a fuck what you don't rock with. You, bro, I don't care what you don't rock with. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't gonna fucking. That like but what I do know is I'm telling you some real shit. And you can rock with it or not. You know what I'm saying? You could that at the end of the day, you know, you rock with it or not. But at the end of the day, man, hey, I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. And it ain't my opinion. Anything I'm saying up here ain't no opinion, bro. This is the truth. Yeah, we not in here on that weird shit, bro. Cause you came in here talking about Floyd had his shit pushed in. Like, what the fuck does that got to do with this conversation? Like, you just being weird. Big Dog says he's youngest is hard-headed. I think he meant hard-headed as hell. When y'all get older, you'll understand. Yeah, but and I also understand that, like I said before, man, it was like my pops used to tell me shit that would go in through one ear and out the other. Real talk. I'm gonna tell y'all a story, man. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. So I remember I was like 16, maybe just had turned 17, right? And like I grew up working this shit. Like you couldn't like once I got to the age of like 13, if I wanted like shit, probably like 12, 13. If I wanted some shit, especially in the summer, like if I wanted clothes for that next school year, like my pops, he instilled that into me. Like I had to work. So it wouldn't like once I probably like 13, right? Once I got to that age, like I had to work, right? So I had to do hard shit in the summer. You know what I'm saying? Work on houses, lay floors, all type of shit, right? If I wanted to be fresh that next year for school, I had to put in that work. You know what I'm saying? So I never had nothing handed to me. And so I remember one year, man, I worked my ass off. Like real talk, like I'm talking about, man, I remember I did tile in this big ass fucking 3,500 square foot house. Probably not a house was bigger than that. This house was probably like 4,500 square foot. You know what I'm saying? We did tile in this big ass house. I'm talking about, man, I worked 10-hour days. Wouldn't even taking no lunches on my hands and knees. Hard work. You know what I'm saying? Did all type of shit that whole summer, like worked my ass off. So when the end of the summer came, I'm like, man, I just stacked bread. Like I'm already thinking, like, man, I'm finna buy this, I'm finna buy that, I'm finna buy this, that. And so I'm already had a number in my head. I'm like, man, this is more money than I had. Like, I'm finna get bread. Like, I'm finna be paid. And man, my pops, man, he gave me, I don't remember what it was, but it was some shit that was way less than I knew I had earned. Like I knew I had, like the work that I put in, man, I'm like, Oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? He might have gave me about $200 or $300. I don't remember what the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying? And I was pissed. I was like, oh, nah, I ain't, and I'm like 16, 17. So at this point in time, I'm feeling myself. You know what I'm saying? No, this nigga ain't just like, nigga, you trying to play me. And I told him, like you trying to play me. So he gave me the money, and he seen the look on my face, man. And like I told him, like, man, nah, you trying to play me. Like, where's the rest of my money? You ain't finna, like, nah, hell nah. And so, like, like we got into it. And I tried to step to my dad, right? I tried to step to him. And like I'm shouting and I'm pissed off. At this point in time, I'm thinking like, yeah, I might can whoop him, which I couldn't. But in my mind, I could, saying, I like, you feeling yourself at that age. In my mind, I'm thinking I could whoop him. And I remember my mom got in between us and shit and broke it up. And I remember I left the house. I left the house and shit, right? I'm like, man, fuck this. I packed my shit and I left, right? And I remember for a long time, I thought that he was in the wrong. Like, I'm like, this motherfucker, man, he was in the wrong for years, right? Until I got to a certain age, I can't remember what age it was, and I start thinking about it, right? And I'm like, I had the fucking nerve to get pissed off when I was staying up under his roof, wasn't paying no motherfucking bills, eating good, but I thought he was in the wrong. And it took me years, and I was a grown-ass man before I realized, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? He had been taking care of me my whole life. I ain't have to worry about shit, but what I was going to fucking go to the mall to show up to school the next year to look fresh for some females. That's all I had to worry about. I ain't have to worry about no fucking food. I ain't have to worry about no bills, no roof over my head, no nothing. But you couldn't tell me, I thought he was in the wrong. And I felt some type of way about that shit for a long, long time until I got to a certain age. And then I really realized, like, damn, the fuck was I tripping on? Like, he was right. And he was telling me that when we was getting into it, like, you what the fuck you talking about? I ain't paid you. Like, you got the fucking nerve. You ain't paid a motherfucking bill in there. You know how Black Pops is going, motherfucker. But one thing that he instilled in me is that shit, you ain't never in order for you to get some shit, you gotta work for it and earn it. And if you stand up under somebody's motherfucking roof and you ain't paying a goddamn bill and you ain't putting in no fucking work, shut the fuck up. You ain't got shit to say. But the moral of the story is, like I said, man, is a lot of shit you ain't gonna realize until you get to a certain age. And then you'll realize that you're wrong. But hopefully it ain't too late. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully it ain't too late. Because some kids is fucked up, man. And it might be too late to when they realize they wrong. I wasn't 22. I was probably shit. I was older when I finally realized that shit. Yeah, so it's Picasso said back pay. So yeah, man, I was dead wrong, and a lot of things we're not gonna realize. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, It is what it is. I wish I had known a lot of shit that I eventually learned through, trials and through trial and error and just life shit. I wish I had known that shit a long time ago. Yeah, no evidence. Yeah, I realized I was dead wrong, bro. And I can't remember what it was. It might even be. I think to tell you, I think it was like $450. Maybe it was $500. I don't know, but shit. I don't remember what it was, but I wasn't paying for no bills, and I wouldn't having the motherfucking have for no money to eat and shit. I ain't have to worry about shit. Yeah, nah, man. They like I said, man. The young man, he told me he got a business, and so like I said, man, I all due respect to that. But don't ever think that because you got some money that make you real. You can't never substitute that integrity. None of that shit, bro. And these rappers and these motherfucking celebrities, they lying to you. All that shit is fake and it's a facade. Battlefield says, when I got my first paycheck, my dad made me, he said, my dad made me pay the light bill. He says that is was my whole check. Hey, for real. Hey, for real, man. But I bet you appreciate that he made you pay that light bill. I bet you appreciated that, man. Cause like I said, man, my folks ain't never got me no car. Ain't never like none of that shit, bro. I had to earn that shit, get that shit out the mud. But I appreciate that shit as you get older. You appreciate that shit, man, because at the time you see other kids with shit that you can't get, and they parents giving them this and giving them that, bro. And they don't appreciate that shit. Because they expect that. They think that's what they supposed to have. They think, they're entitled. I never got a chance to feel that way, but it helped me out in the long run. Because I ain't never wanted shit from nobody. I don't even feel comfortable taking shit from people. Receiving shit from people. I really don't. Dundada, me too. I ain't get kicked out. I left. But me too. 17, bro. And you whatever you do, you got to learn how to get it on your own. Diana says, I got them their first car, but their grades had to be fired on fire, yeah, off to college. Right. And that's how it's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's nothing wrong with doing that for kids. But like I said, yeah, everybody don't have that luxury. Yeah, so we all been there. You know what I'm saying? We all been hard-headed. Joseph Jackson, he feels some type of way because he think bro, I'm not. I'm just keeping it real I'm just keeping it real. I'm kicking you some game. You can either use it. You eventually gonna use it, bro. You're gonna have to use it. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Man, make sure that y'all hit that like button. Y'all make sure that y'all hit the like button. It's good to be able to get off boxing and just talk real live shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Real life things that maybe, somebody might be on the background. This might, give them some game. This might help them out, right? You never know who's listening, man. Everything, this shit, this boxing that we do and go back and forth, this is entertainment, man. Right? This is entertainment. That's why I stress to some of y'all, man, these fighters, man, they don't give a damn about you. We don't need to, motherfuckers be wanting to fight and do all type of extra shit over these fighters, man. They not thinking about what's going on with us over here on the internet, man. This is all for entertainment at the end of the day. And we all need to realize that, because I think a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? I probably even been, I've probably done it myself before. We get caught up in this going back and forth and forget, man, this shit is all entertainment. You know what I'm saying? These fighters, man, they not giving a fuck about what the fuck we saying, or, you know what I'm saying? They happy that somebody talking about. Because this is all the promotion that these fighters have nowadays. It's us right here. Everybody that's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? people like me that's doing this content and all of that. That's all they got. But it's entertainment for us. That's why when fans start protecting their favorite fighter and all of that, we don't need to do all that. It's all entertainment. We want to see these fighters fight. But yeah, and salute to everybody in the chat. My man Todd Swindle, Cassandra, the Queen, Diana, PLG Sky, the Jackson twins. That's what y'all is. I don't give a fuck if y'all ain't twins. Y'all twins from now on. And like I said, my man William Old School. But I'm glad I know what age y'all is, and no disrespect. It ain't nothing like that. I'm just glad that y'all ain't no 40-year-old, late 30-year-old, 50-year-old men in here saying some of the shit that y'all say. So that makes it a lot better. You know what I'm saying? And I look at y'all in a lot better light. It ain't no shame. But yeah, man, we all keeping the sport of boxing alive. You know what I'm saying? We all keeping the sport of boxing. If William Old School 59-year-old ass said some of the shit that some of the young generation would be saying about their fighters on here, then I'll be like, William Old School, man. Now I'm looking at that shit a certain way. But salute to my man William Old School. Yes, sir. Salute to everybody in the building. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'm out. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone, y'all. Hit the like button. If y'all ain't hit the like button, smash on the like button for me and we gone.